Oh, hey.
Oh,
What's
hi.
up, y'all?
Hi, I'm Joel. I'm kind of out of it because I just got donuts. Hi, I'm Joel. I use any pronouns. I'm going to be playing Boulder, who uses he/him pronouns. I think that's all from me. I mean,
Yeah, I want this too.
I would share, but keep this.
Yo, that's me. Hello, everybody. I am Extel. I use he/him pronouns. I'm playing Jax, the greatest warrior who ever lived. He also uses he/him pronouns, and I'm excited to punch stuff. Maybe. Who knows?
Solid. Oh, that's me. Hey, what's up? My name is Maggie, and I use they, them, and she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Sybil, who uses she, her pronouns. And I'm excited for Jax not to punch something.
Come on.
Very excited for no punching to happen. Physics, yes.
Hey everybody, I am Alina. I use they, them pronouns, and I play Kale, who is also they, them, and they are this close to losing their shit. So we will see how things go tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we just about finished the translation of these papers, right? So there's no out and out, we did this, but there's sort of a picture of them suppressing facts, people who've had manifestations, that sort of thing. Ooh. Right. Jax.
This is Extel. I don't think we're hearing you, Evie, specifically on the
Oh.
stream.
Oh, I can hear you. Oh, weird. Do we have audio on stream?
R.I.P.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just heavy.
Yeah, I
Is
was
this
hearing.
better? Is this better now? I've transitioned it again. It should not have shifted off of that.
Yeah, there's audio for you now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Very strange. I guess it wouldn't be an Empyrean episode without me having some sort of audio issue. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
We're good. We're good.
But yeah, so it's just a lot of things pointing not just to the corruption of several of the council members, but also to the fact that over the past approximately 5 years, incidents have been increasing in volume, and they have been affecting the public's awareness of it.
Do I recognize if the ships that have been sunk? Do I recognize the names of them?
One or two of them.
Interesting.
So we've been like
No.
shuffling papers and muttering back and forth, Kale and Balder, for like a couple
Oh, yeah.
hours now, I'm sure. And
Oh,
then
yeah, we've got like the full-on
Yeah.
red string board going on, at least mentally.
yeah. And then we'll hit a point in that where you like I'm sure when the revelation about the ships, and I'm like, that can't be right though. That would put the date at 5 years ago. And as we understand it, there wasn't signs of anything rising then.
Well, technically,
Well, I suppose that is true. You said you were born with that?
yeah.
Huh. And when I went down, that was nearly 10 years ago now. So, yeah, it looks like they're doing some brief math in their head.
Do you know how long the owner of these papers has been in their position of power?
Oh God, I'm long. Sybil,
Hmm?
do you
Look,
know how
I'm-
long Sabah has been in her position?
Since I was a kid, I think. I mean,
So quite
Probably
some time then.
about
Yeah,
as long
well-
as.
Sabar's probably been in her current position for about 7 or 8 years. Prior to that, you would have at least seen her around because she succeeded the last council member in charge of safety and mediation who died. Thinking on it, possibly under mysterious circumstances, but died during their vacation a couple years ago.
I apologize if suddenly there's Hispanic music playing. My mom is outside my window listening to
can hear
music.
We
That's
can't quite
just
hear
sick.
it, but that is
That's good.
wonderful mood music. Wonderful
Yeah.
mood
You
music.
get a soundtrack.
Yeah.
So if they took control of they joined their position, their current position, 8-ish years ago, and this
Give or
documentation explicitly states that it's been 5-ish years since they've started doing this. Maybe it isn't that this has only been a 5-year project, but that these are only the 5 years that she's been brought onto the project.
Yes.
Sir.
Jax, when did you start your wanderings?
Now let's see. Me double checking Jax's age.
Let me check my backstory.
Check my character sheet.
Let me just
How-
check.
How old am I?
Yeah.
I've got to do math.
Honestly,
Look,
that's very anime of Jax, not knowing his age.
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
look, being in the wilderness is a whole thing for a long time. He's 25, so it would have started around 5 years ago for him.
About the right time. Yeah.
5,
Hmm.
6. Yeah.
Interesting.
He's like, yeah. When I was about 19, 20-ish, about 5 or 6 years ago.
So about 5 years ago then.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like any of this. But I think that what we have here is definite evidence all adding up to a wide-scale conspiracy. And we knew that was happening, but this is proof. This is something that we can actually take to somebody. And I might have someone in mind.
Who?
The moles. I wouldn't ask them to do anything. Most of them are children, but there are older members like myself who are still more of a guiding role, who are aware of a lot of the things that are happening within this city. They would be able to make use of this information very well.
No, we don't have to go like up top for that, right? We
Oh, no.
stay down here.
No,
Okay.
the nice thing about the moles is we tend to stay underground.
With that, what if since I'm near here, just like, how did you came across these papers, by the way? Just again, just to me.
I really told you.
In the
We might have
found-
stolen them.
Yeah.
Right, from like a very important, very bad person.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's not bad, right?
She runs all of the legal enforcements within the city.
Hey,
She
Captain.
is a whole lot of woman.
Mm-hmm.
a gap. Bastards, obviously. The question is, wouldn't just spitballing here, wouldn't that put a marker of danger on the back of your moles?
I definitely would.
You were okay with that?
No, I'd do anything to protect them. But we will be very quiet about this.
I
Are
mean,
you sure?
You've done a great job of that so far.
we're not the best at this, Kale. We're not.
No, but I mean, I was running a tea shop a week ago. I haven't done any of this before.
Right. Yes.
If I may chime in, it's easy to protect you 3 down. I don't know how good you are in a fight. But it's easy to protect. Yeah, you. How good are you in a fight?
I've got a tentacle on. People are not usually comfortable being slapped by it.
It's easy to protect the 3 of you. But I will say, unless there's someone down there that you think is tough enough to take on some handful of guards at a time, I have to agree with Balder here. It's probably not the best thing to involve them.
The people of Deepview at least need to be warned, though, that the guards are going to be on the lookout for anything extraordinarily magical and will try to suppress it. And as those who live the deepest, they're the most likely to have these kind of manifestations. I don't think we should perhaps trust them with these papers, but we do need to hide them somewhere for if we need them, and we should give some sort of warning.
I'll take them.
I can't eat them.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not to both. No.
They don't know me.
Not
They know you stole it, not me.
Not necessarily. I'm just saying maybe somebody went into her house after we left. She doesn't actually know it was us.
Well, in that case, it wouldn't be a problem that a person like me would carry, because obviously I think it would have.
Well, like maybe I'm not, I'm not the smartest. I'm not the smartest tool in the
Don't
shack.
say that. You're plenty
Right? But yeah, no, I'm not. But I appreciate the vote of confidence, though. I am when I drink that one potion. I am really smart, but that's a different thing.
Potion?
But
Ooh, well, let's
but
the potions.
Was like a magic potion? But
yeah,
More or less.
More or less.
You
I don't
drank the
think we have
magic
any more.
potion?
Yeah,
Well,
they're
he
pretty
drank
old.
the magic potion. Mine were gross.
Like snot or?
It made me be able to read a language that's been long lost to history. But anyway, no. What I'm talking about is I'm not sure if anyone who knows who Sabar. I'm not sure if anyone who knows Sabar is will willingly go into her house and steal.
Oh, no, she absolutely knows it was us. Let's not kid ourselves on this.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
I mean, it's not impossible, but it's highly improbable.
There is a reason I took all of my goods that I could carry out of my tea shop, because I guarantee there are guards in there right now trying to uncover whatever conspiracy we are doing, even though we're not. We're just idiots who blundered into this.
Let me ask you a question. If you knew who I was and you knew where I lived, would you willingly steal from me?
If you had a lot of money, yes.
I feel like we've maybe lost the plot here.
What are you
So, okay, so Sabar knows that we stole from her. We have papers that we need to put somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
She also knows that each of us has some sort of magical manifestation, which is equally
We
dangerous.
know that
Doesn't
she
know,
does too.
but
Yes.
we also don't know exactly what.
So we have 2 pieces of blackmail against her. One are these papers, and the other is our knowledge of what she can do.
I think it's fire. But
I think
that's
I think you have a third piece of, well, not a blackmail piece, but I said I was willing to help. So if this lady doesn't know me, I can move more freely than you guys can.
That is true.
I mean, just about as freely as anybody else that's here. I mean,
Yeah,
she's still a
that's true.
council member.
Yeah,
You
but I
try
didn't
to-
rob her.
Well,
I think that the three of us need to have a fairly low profile for a few days, and we should work out what it is we're going to do next.
sure.
I mean, I know what I want to do next.
Okay.
Okay.
What? That is?
Beat up everybody.
Oh, I get it. You're the muscle, right? Then
You
that's
just have been stabbed many times today. Perhaps you should eat something and then go to bed.
It's not the
Actually,
first time I've been stabbed.
we should hold on.
That's not. We'll get into that later. It's still a problem, but
No, it's not even the 72nd time I've been stabbed.
I'm just Sybil's just gonna go and start rummaging around for stuff and looking for like things to change bandages, being like, I guess I need to. Kinder isn't here, and I just like presents you with a pile of things. Like, do you need this?
Speaking of Kinder, Scott, or King Scott the rat, like just kind of squeaks and perks up, kind of as a
I was like, oh, kind of.
rat-like reminder of you do have non-humanoid options at your
That's true.
disposal.
That is true. Kale is going to take a little time to go through their belongings. They get a little pouch of like their and go money, which is not a lot, and they kind of go through it and they're doing some math and they're like, this is not going to last us very long, but they'll take some out, and then a quill and some paper as well, and they'll give a little bit of money to Balder and be like, we will all need dinner for a little while, maybe
like a turkey.
something to drink, maybe something fresher.
Please not
But if you wait a moment, I will write a note and I'll ask you to meet with a contact of mine and just pass it off to them.
All
If
right.
you give me a few hours, I can go catch something.
Oh, there's not a lot of things I would eat down here.
No. Up there, I could go into like the forest or something and grab something.
I mean, if we're gonna wait hours, I can just go fishing.
Give me a moment, I'll finish this note, and Kale will go off and scribble down a note to somebody that they know and roll it up.
Okay. Jax,
It's fairly-
I am
Okay.
going to say that with the amount of damage that you are taking, that you have taken, and how much recovery you have left, I am going to use my second held intrusion on you to say that you are probably too exhausted to feasibly go catch you guys food, especially since it would require getting all the way out of the city to go hunt something down.
Jax is like, no, yeah, he starts to stand up. He's like, give me like
no,
2-3
no.
hours now, and then he just
he
falls.
Just sit down.
He just falls over and you hear him snoring.
Did he just fall asleep in the middle of a sentence?
Yeah.
Is that
Sort of a
normal?
thing he does.
Oh.
I think he's more hurt than he lets on.
Sybil's just gonna like take a blanket and just kind of like put it over him and be like, I guess he's just gonna stay there for a little bit. So
Battle,
there's a
battle,
little
battle.
there should be a shop, and I'll give you some directions to like a little shop. And then there's usually a
okay.
lad that hangs out outside that shop. If you slip him this note, he'll get to where it needs to go. It should go by the name of Weasel.
Not the weirdest name I've heard. All right, I'll be back, and I head out. I'm gonna take my time though. I'm gonna give them enough time to think that I may have stolen the money. But it's really just me waiting outside the door for a little once I'm done.
Trying to lose a tail.
Just waiting outside, just like and I'm gonna go in like, oh sorry it took so long. There were guards all over the place. Oh, here you go.
More guards, you say?
Yeah.
Like an
A lot of them.
unusual amount?
more than 2.
Less than what? More than 2, less than what?
Like 1,000.
Honestly, never mind. It just
Oh, Kale, here's your change. I give you change.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At
I'm gonna keep some of the money for myself.
Oh, you're awake? Okay.
At 1,000 guards, Jackson. He's still sleeping, but when 1,000 guards is mentioned, his fist lights up with a shock. But he's
Even
still
in
asleep.
his sleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like that's not
okay.
safe.
It's probably not. Do we need to like electrical currents? He needs to be like grounded or something. We're gonna get shocked.
Well, like punished?
We probably shouldn't put anything flammable near him.
Um.
I'm gonna take off the blanket that he has
Aw. Okay.
so it doesn't light on fire.
Do you
Here
think that if we
goes.
like poke him, it'll be like static electricity? Like, will you get shocked if you just?
I think
Hold on.
if you poke him right now, he's just gonna punch you.
I think so.
Do you want to try it? Poke him.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, Sybil's got like another notebook out, just like.
Oh, here. I'm gonna look for a long stick.
Okay, that works actually.
I'm gonna grab a long stick or like a plank or something. I'm gonna poke him from afar.
But like gently, because he's sleeping.
Just a little boop.
I'm always gentle.
But like wood isn't a conductor. That wouldn't spark anyway. Right?
Well, I want to see if he punches us.
Oh, we're testing different things. Go for it.
All right. I poke him with this stick.
I don't know, and you can stop me if this can't happen. But I imagine that as far as you see, nothing happens, but you pull back the plank and it's like half of what it was.
Hey, look! I answered your question.
Oh, I would not touch him, no.
He didn't even move. How did that? That's not a thing you can do.
I mean, to be fair, you are standing in a room with a person crackling with lightning and not a person that has a tentacle.
Then he rolls over and he's snuggling the other half of it.
All right.
Well, that answers that question. What's for dinner, I guess?
What is for dinner? What did I buy?
What'd you get us?
What did you get us?
I'm going to assume, based
box of turkey?
off of Baldur's history and whatnot, there is smoked meat as opposed to just jerky, along with smoked fish and kale chips, like seaweed and kale chips and whatnot.
I may have, if you'll allow me, and I came across a bakery on the way, I'll probably buy them a treat or two. This is
Oh, nice. Good.
Bakery is generous, but there are it's
stinkeries.
Well, no, it's more of it looks like some sort of sugared preserved fruits, maybe of some kind. That kale, are a particular like mushroom that grows in the depths.
Yeah. Kale will, as food is doled out, Kale will sort of sigh and look at the food that they remember from their childhood and like very grudgingly eat it.
There was not a lot of options.
Yeah, like it's kind of got that sweet and salty umami taste that like Midarashi Dengo has. So it's sweet, but it has a little bit of like that soy meatiness to it.
Mm.
I'm gonna chop
View
out.
cuisine, can't say I missed it.
I could have taken longer and gone to the surface and gotten some fresh fish.
Maybe in a few days we'll be desperate enough for that, but best not to take the risk now, I think.
Fresh fish is great. What's wrong with fresh fish?
Well,
We're
I
gonna
bet
be
it's
down here
being
for
seen on the surface.
days.
Oh,
It's lovely.
And the fish that is served in Deep View is actually fairly good. The food, while it is not what people commonly expect on the surface, it has a lot more flavor and spice to it because of the amount of mineral and material trade that goes through the underground and smuggling. So they have a wider variety than like the lower monetary areas of the surface. So it's quite flavorful. It's just not in an arrangement that you generally see in, say, the Greenbelt or Cliffside.
I think as we're eating, I'm gonna say, so what's the plan? What's our next step?
That's a really good question.
I will have somebody from the moles coming by to pick up another note, and I'm going to let them know at least some of what is happening on the surface with regards to the council not admitting that there is anything magical out here, and that therefore putting the populace down here at risk. I'm much more detailed than that because, as you said, I don't want to endanger them. But that should at least let them make plans to keep themselves and the people down here safe.
And there's nobody up top that we might be able to finagle into helping us take down the people that are in exchange or something like that. Someone with actual
Sybil.
power.
Hey, maybe I
Sybil, you do remember almost chasing after someone the last time you guys were in Deep View. Specifically because they were trading in notes that you recognized as coming from council sessions.
very true.
But we didn't find who it was.
You
It's very
didn't.
sneaky.
They were very sneaky.
They were like practically invisible.
They darted around a corner and you almost chased after them and then just didn't.
We were busy and tired.
Yeah.
And
You were very
Almost
busy
invisible.
and very
Went
tired.
around the corner. Identical.
Yeah.
The most
Very
realistic
different
character
things.
I've
They
ever
were-
played in my life. I was tired.
No,
Yeah,
but
they-
remember
they-
we went into the room
it
and there was like I saw somebody, or I thought I saw somebody, but I rolled a nat 20.
No,
So there
like
was someone there that was very sneaky.
you were listening in on or you heard
Right.
part of a conversation
Right.
that happened behind a door. Someone came out as you were passing that had what appeared to be notes in the particular stationery and format that at a glance comes from council sessions. They went around the corner and you decided not to chase them, but you did barge into the door and whoever was in there had disappeared, apparently going through the window. Again,
Right.
you literally only looked out the window. You didn't chase after these people.
No.
It was late.
We
It
didn't
was
have reason
late
to
and you
yet.
were about
Now
to
we
sleep.
would.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was late
was
and you were
tired.
about
It
to
was
sleep. So you have
foreshadowing.
no idea about
No.
like the whole competency of their sneakiness. You know that they managed to trade in council session notes, or possibly not actually council session notes based off of the cipher that you have been dealing with. But
Maybe a secret message.
you don't know who these people are. You didn't chase after them. You just remember seeing them. So
we know that they're in
someone
Deep
in
View.
Deep View, yeah, someone in
Yeah.
Deep View is trading in this information currently.
I like to imagine that this entire time Baldur is just staring and Sybil is just like staring at the floor like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, all of this is stuff that happened.
This
Yeah,
usually
it's
takes
that
this long to
calculations
remember
meme.
things, so I guess,
It's fully that calculations meme.
I know we know some people up top that could help us, but they also could just really, really not help us. And I do actually have to talk to my parents at some point because they are going to actually Well,
What is
Yeah.
what is? I feel like you're giving me like you need to finish the first thought before you start the second one.
they're connected. Um. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
a princess. I get it.
No.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Incorrect.
You're
Not a captain.
you're
Not a princess.
you're you're like the daughter of bigwigs. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. The child.
That part's correct.
Princess. Yeah.
My mom's
Would you prefer
work.
captain or princess? I can do both. Captain, princess.
I act. Neither is great. Sibyl's great. Since you know my name and I know your name, and this is just all going really well. My parents work for a council member
Right.
who is not great.
You've seen his
Oh.
name mentioned multiple times in these reports.
I'll like mutter his name, which is
Michelli.
Yeah,
Michelli. Yeah,
Harper
Mm.
Michelli.
Papa Michelli, which you've seen in the notes.
He's
Oh yeah, shady.
he's not. I mean, he's kind of my uncle, so he's fine to me, but he's
Oh.
not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your uncle's
Well,
shady.
well, okay, that's just rude.
He's definitely taken bribes and probably been instrumental in at least one of the disappearances.
Oh, but that if he takes bribes.
Maybe
Like 5 or 6 disappearances.
5 or 6. Oh,
Right.
but maybe a majority of the disappearances.
Yeah, like several of which did not actually have anything to do with magic. They were just people that he was bribed to disappear.
Problems. Yeah.
Okay, 2 things.
Yeah.
1, I'm looking for someone who has disappeared. That might be a connection there. But 2, if he takes bribes, that means he can't be bribed.
It's true. I suspect he would be bribed by people with more power than we have, and
We
more
do,
money.
but we do have power. We have the power over this lady that we've been translating the documents of. Blackmail is power. Imagine, if you will, that you're a political figure. You're so full up in your britches. Then somebody else walks up to you and tells you, you know that jerk that you work with? We can make them disappear. Technically, we can help you make them disappear, and then you get more power.
Are you suggesting that we go to my uncle and
Mhm.
say and get him to disappear Sabar, or the alternative?
No.
What is the plan?
I'm saying I visit your uncle and tell your uncle
Mhm.
about the crimes of this lady.
So here's
Paper,
the main problem with that as an option, okay?
right?
So
Yeah.
you're about here in the social stratus.
Yeah,
They
so
both are up here. And
Right.
regardless of what she's done, he's still gonna side with her over you, and then you're going to get
Unless-
disappeared.
unless
Unless, yeah. What?
I have blackmail on him. Like, I don't know, a niece that may or may not have been kidnapped.
I haven't been kidnapped. Also, he's not my real uncle. Why are your plans so confusing?
You were the
This
one
is
who
all
said it was. I thought it was your. You said it was your
Terribly
uncle.
complicated.
I thought he was your uncle. You said it was your uncle.
He is emotionally my uncle, biologically not my uncle.
I
He's
can
worked with,
understand.
you've got uncles that aren't your
What
uncles.
what
Like,
about your parents? I'm sure they'll side with you.
yeah, I hope they're not. We're close-ish. I don't know. Honestly,
That sounds very complicated.
they're complicated people.
Hmm. Guess it runs in the family. then.
I mean, okay, this is so mean. Look,
But-
you
So what's the other alternative one though? Like,
just die, I guess. No.
I'm down. We
You
can
know-
go. We can storm the Capitol right now.
When you say that, Sybil, Jax wakes up for a moment, his eyes open, and he looks at you. He goes, "No, you won't," and then he goes right back to sleep.
Yeah. He's fully doing that. I'm mostly asleep, but I'm still taking in my surroundings and
Like a
reacting to them.
cat.
Yeah.
It's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, he's terrifying. I'm very glad he's on our
Absolutely
side.
It's good you guys haven't been
Oh.
sailors.
Okay.
We should sleep. But perhaps one of us should stay awake to watch.
I
I'll do
will.
it.
All right. You wake me after, name an hour. I don't know what time it is now. In a few hours.
Okay.
We'll try to get some sleep.
I'm
Sybil,
gonna.
are
I'm
you
gonna-
also going to sleep?
Just
I
like,
don't know how much you trust Balder to keep watch while you're sleeping.
She's
That's
probably
why I
not
asked.
going to sleep. No.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
She shouldn't.
Yeah. So, if you
Just,
are
like,
going
drag
to
up a chair.
attempt to, after this stressful day, remain awake for like that long, I will request a might task from
Baby's
you.
first might task.
Yeah, to like for the endurance to stay awake. It's
Yeah.
going to be a very simple DC 4, so 12 or better.
I'm not good at
Because
might.
it hasn't been more than 24 hours yet. So you are a college student, you've done this before, so it's just a 12 or better.
Kale is not also not being 100% trustful. Like, they've taken some of the most important and valuable things out of their trunk, and stuffed it into their blanket that they're going to lie on top of like a cat as they sleep, and then
Valid.
lock the trunk again.
Yeah,
But they assume that he can do some lock picking.
With that, as you curl up to go to sleep, you feel something crawl on top of you and curl up, and when you look, it's just your teapot resting on your hip.
That's fine.
Balder, you would have seen what looked like a tiny copper dragon crawl up the side of Kale, curl up, and then somehow shift into a teapot that looks like a dragon.
The teapot that we were making tea out of earlier.
Yes.
It's casual.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit with my back to the door, like body blocking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna keep watch.
Okay. What was that roll, Sybil?
I got a 6.
You got
I
a
think
6.
Sybil pulled up a chair and is just like dead facing Balder and just
Yeah. Like you have a nice little staring contest, and then you realize that Sybil just kind of is sleeping with her eyes open, and then they just kind of droop and
just like very
Plonk.
slowly just
yeah. She was exhausted.
Aw.
I'm gonna just grab like a coat, like, or if there's like loose blanket, or I'll take off my coat and put it around them just to keep them warm, and then I'll sit back down at the door and just wait until the
Okay.
first watch passes, just in
Okay.
silence.
Jax, how are you sleeping after passing the fuck out?
Jax was like, when he stood up, he was standing, and then he fell straight, like flat, and he was like that for a while. Now he's on his back, sort of like splayed out.
Mm-hmm.
Not a care in the world.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Bit of a snore.
We'll say that King Scott is resting nearby, keeping watch over you, because you're the one that usually carries him around. So you've got a guardian rat watching you.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Sybil, you will probably, I'm assuming, eventually kind of stumble out of the chair and curl up even tighter on the ground. It's entirely up to you on if that affects your level of sleep. With the high stress, though, I will request that you roll against what you already know what I'm going to ask about.
I believe in
An
you.
intellect task of
Yeah,
5,
I'm
so
glad we
15 or better.
know what's going on.
I'm good.
Well, you will find out if she has a nightmare.
Oh yeah,
We'll find out.
we will all find out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, that's a natural one.
Oh,
So inconspicuous. It's
This
great.
is the worst fucking nightmare I've ever had.
so
Oh,
it's
no.
it starts the way that your nightmares typically do, where it's that high stress. You're at school and you have no idea, like it's a completely foreign language being discussed around you for the lesson. It is the typical like overachieving neurodivergent kid that got to college and it just is not structured enough for them, so everything is a different language around you, and then you realize that you are completely naked, and then as you like reach to grab for your cardigan that was across the back of your chair to wrap it around yourself, you see a tree growing through the side of the classroom. It's that tree again, and people around you are screaming as the moss and sap and other toxic things accidentally brush against them while they're trying to get away, and you see people around you suffering from a variety of these horrific acid burns and injuries from that. You remember how much they like quarantined entire levels because of this thing. And Jax steps out of the tree as it opens, his eyes possessed,
Oh no.
walking slowly towards you in a echo of what happened down below when you were facing the ball of light. Lightning crackles around his arms. Balder, what you see, being awake,
Yeah, hello, hi.
what you
Sorry, I was
see
eating some jerky.
being awake as Sybil starts kind of shifting and sounding like she's having, just a nightmare. Lights flicker, like these illusory sparks of light as the walls around you change to look like weird bark-like texture and moss and flowers dropping pollen that also light up and seem to sizzle in the air as Jax, while also laying down an image of him, sits up and stands with
Sure, cool. Yeah.
freakishly possessed blank eyes,
Mm-hmm.
lightning robing his figure. How would you like to react to that?
Well, I would like to run away, but that's not what I'm going to do because I'm a brave warrior to see. I'm going to stand up and call for Jax.
Okay, Jax, give me an intellect task of, we'll call it 12, since you are asleep.
I will say my tentacle is on my sword. It's like on the hilt, ready to draw if it comes to it.
Yeah.
That's a 14.
14. So you wake up gradually, groggily, to the sound of Balder calling your name, sounding somewhat concerned, I would guess.
Oi, Jax, wake up, man.
Nah, yeah, what? And he
And you
sits up.
see, like, as you sit up, you see Jax, like, merge with this kind of secondary figure that had sat up from him. And so there's still the image of lightning crackling around him, but it's like the blank face superimposed over his groggy, what the fuck is going on type of face. Jax, you do also see the illusion of the walls looking like the cracked bark of that tree that you guys first encountered, and glittering light, like lit spores from the moss and flowers that had been growing from it, just flickering through the air.
Okay, I've been through this once before. Correct. Would it be too far of a stretch for Jax to be like, oh, I know what's going on here?
You have a good idea of what's going on, at least, yeah.
Oh gosh, hold on.
I just
You know,
rolled
I'll
to see if
just-
Kale wakes up, and I just rolled like a 2, so I somehow sleep through this.
Having a great
I,
time.
I will just stand up and I think this works, and I'm going to the bark. I'm
Mhm.
just going to like tap it
Yeah.
with my hand. See if that
Um,
makes it go away.
It ripples and seems to disappear and then closes back in on itself because it is
Oh, this-
currently being actively maintained.
Do you know what's going on, mate? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, don't. It's a whole thing. We just gotta
Seems to
we
happen
gotta
every
wake up.
time you guys are in the underground too.
We gotta wake up. We gotta wake Sybil up. Sybil, and I'll try to like shake Sybil awake.
Uh, are you good?
Like, so
Mm.
as you see this possessed
Oh,
horrific figure of Jax approaching you from the tree, having opened like a portal before you, lightning crackling off of his body, and he reaches towards you the same way he had when the light had controlled him. You feel yourself being shaken awake, and Jax is right above you.
Oh, holy shit. Jax?
You're doing the
The
thing
illusion
again.
does, yeah, the illusion does gradually dissipate
Oh,
as Jax is hovering over her and waking her up.
you're good. You're Jax.
Yeah. Are you telling me that you were dreaming about me being all scary?
Yeah.
Well, hang on. You can make your dreams a reality.
Not on purpose. Yeah.
You just made another him.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a second. He was laying down. Then he sat up, but he was still laying down too.
That's
So it was bloody scary.
terrible. Yeah. Yeah. He
Oh, he was
it's
gonna kill
good.
me.
Everything's fine. Nope, we're good. Everything's totally okay. Sorry for the
Are you
Kale
sure?
makes like a little mumbly
It's
noise and
better.
rolls over.
What
What's
time
not
is it
sleeping
anyway?
so much?
We don't want to wake up Kale. Are you good? You okay?
Do you want to talk about it?
Me?
Is-
No.
You sure? Because this doesn't seem like a thing that's just going to go away if we ignore it.
You know what? There's really no way to know unless I keep trying to ignore it.
I can't really argue with that logic, no, can I?
I'm gonna look at Balder and I'm gonna say I've tried. You're not gonna get through either one of them about this.
There is nothing to get
Is the other
through.
one also a dream person?
No,
no,
they do much.
we
weird
don't
stuff.
talk about it
Weirder than
because
dream. What you are? I'm sorry. I've tried to be very nonchalant with your group. You're telling me that one somehow does weirder things than make a whole ass person
You
from
would
the dream
act
world.
like that? What's happening?
Nothing. Everything's fine. You make people out of dreams.
They're not people, they're just illusions. It just happens when I get stressed. I don't know.
oh yeah, hold on, your accent did change.
No, it's fine. So wait, so the tree in the bar, that was you then too?
Yeah. Yeah, the tree, there was a tree when we all first met each other. We went to go investigate it, and
So you're scared of trees? Is that what you're telling
I'm
me?
scared of that tree, I guess. I don't know.
Well, why don't you just burn the tree down? Just take it down. Just kill it. Then you don't do
There's a
it.
there's a
I
there's a
actually
whole thing.
I like that as an option, if I'm honest. But it's up on the surface.
Oh, what? I have some bottles of alcohol. We just put a rag on top of it, light on a flame.
It's probably not a good idea. It shoots out like some poisonous stuff in some of the like flowers and stuff.
The tree
As far as I
shoots out
understand.
things.
Not the tree itself, but like some of the flowers that sprout around it. As far as I remember, that those smarty
There's-
people were talking about.
There's like acid and it burns people and it's a whole big mess. I think it's probably getting worse knowing everything that's going on, but
What I've learned about nature, living in it for the entirety of my life, is that you just let nature be. You don't mess with it.
You know what?
There is some freaky shit out in nature that you guys have experienced away from the city.
It's true. I've seen what nature does to a man.
voice changed. That happened. Right?
You made people out of dreams. I feel like
That's-
you're kind of just burying the ladle on that, or ladle, or however you pronounce that word in this.
The lead?
Yeah, that one.
The lead.
There
Yeah.
were two of him. One of him is scary enough.
One of him wasn't real. It's fine.
that's the
Everything's fine.
Nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
It wasn't.
But look,
I guess.
this might be a conversation. How I'm so sore. Gosh, this might be a conversation for the morning. And what he's gonna do is Jax is going to, he's gonna look at Sybil.
Mhm.
He's not gonna say anything, and he's gonna sit against the wall.
Mhm.
And then he's gonna sit up against the wall. He's gonna close his eyes. He's gonna look to King Scott, and he's gonna tap to one shoulder, and then he's gonna look at Sybil, and he's gonna be like, "This is if this will make you feel safer." Tap his other shoulder, and then he'll close his eyes and go to sleep.
Aw.
I did not
Like you could put your head there, right?
Yeah, like if
Oh.
you
Like
feel
lie down
safe,
here.
like if it'll help you feel safer.
Got it.
It's that look. He gives you like a look of like, I'm here for you. If this helps you, you can sleep on my shoulder.
Sybil like looks over at Balder and then just like goes and sits like about 5 feet away, like with her back on the same wall as Jax, and then just like very slowly starts like scooching over and then just like tap.
He's already asleep.
Yeah, it takes like a solid 3 minutes for all of this to happen. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
So they were only asleep for like an hour before all of this happened.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit longer before what would be considered the first watch would be over. And while Sybil does not seem to create another depiction of her
fuck.
nightmare, she does not seem to rest easily because that was a fucking nat one.
Yeah.
So
Probably don't
you
sleep
do
very
not
well.
rest well for the rest of the night.
Good.
Kale, how are you sleeping?
Like the dead, apparently.
Totally
Yeah.
fine.
I think I got tuckered the fuck out and I've just tipped over. I got a teapot. I think I'm okay.
Like a
Yeah,
heating
yeah,
pad
yeah.
and everything.
Oh yeah.
Kale is like on like a pile of their clothes on under a blanket and they're just curled
Yeah.
up like a cat.
Yeah, Kale's made themselves a little bit of a nest.
Yeah, this is not the first time
You-
they've slept on the
you-
floor in Deep View.
I would also just like to point out, considering what we know about Kale is sleeping on their possessions, like they are sleeping on a hoard.
Yep. They took all their valuables and they made a little bed out of it.
Yeah, they made a little bed out of their valuables,
Yeah.
and it is the best that they have slept in a while, and they're just sleeping on their little hoard of possessions.
Oopsies.
Oops. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops is right.
So sorry, I just had to point that out. But yeah, so Baldur, is there anything that you would like to do or attempt to do while everyone is passed out sleeping?
Probably not panic at the fact that I just saw my entire reality be warped by a sleeping person. Apart from that, not really. I'm just like watch.
Just complete reality shift around you.
Mhm.
And it looked real. It
Yeah.
looked legitimately real.
Yeah.
It was whew,
This is the freakiest thing he has seen, and he has seen a lot of freaky shit.
yes.
I mean, you have a tentacle arm.
Yeah. But eventually it gets to the point where shift change, quote unquote, would happen. Are you going to go ahead and wake Kale up, or are you going to try and endure through the evening?
I think I'll let them sleep. They've been through a lot.
Aw.
I'm a lot more refreshed. I'll just let them all
Okay.
sleep.
You probably, I'm going to guess, slept in fairly decently prior to your little personal search and
I'd imagine
adventure.
I slept during the day and just
Yeah.
woke up an hour or two before I went into the tunnels.
Yeah, so I'm not going to make you roll for might to maintain wakefulness. But after a while, they do eventually start to wake up naturally. Those of you who may need it may take your 10-hour recovery, and your recoveries reset
How do
for
I
the
take
next day.
one of the shorter rests?
You just mark off whichever one you are taking.
I'll take the hour one just because I've been sitting here for a while.
Yeah,
I just wanna
nothing's been happening. You haven't had to really go and do anything, so you can take whichever rest is necessary.
Cool, I just rolled a one. That's great.
I rolled a 6 on my
in
recovery
the-
roll, so I'm feeling good.
It says 1d6 plus something, but it doesn't. There's no something. It just
It should be +1, whatever your effort is, I believe.
For your tier, yeah.
oh,
Your
okay,
tier,
got
sorry.
it. So it's 2 then.
Yeah.
Got it.
You should just still be tier 1.
Yeah.
With
Oh, yeah,
eventually
but-
you're on your way to.
Yeah, I get 2 because I rolled 1 on the dice plus the 1 from
You
the tier.
only rolled a 1.
No.
Yeah,
I also
no.
rolled a 1.
I rolled a
Oh.
6.
it's
I'm
okay.
gonna take a reroll.
I was only missing 3 points, so I'm basically back to normal.
You're okay.
You say
You
the
gonna
rest
take your
come back
reroll?
though?
Yeah, the rest do come back. Are you gonna
Can I
take
do
your
my
reroll?
action?
Oh, does that
Okay,
include
yeah,
mine?
you can do your action as well.
Okay, thank you.
Does that include mine, or I'm not sure how this
Yeah.
works.
Yeah,
Jack's having a hard time.
Your 10-hour, for those who are unfamiliar with the Cypher system, we, instead of taking a short rest or a long rest in Cypher, have a variety of recovery rolls that we can make. The first one being an action, which is just in a turn, another one being 10 minutes, another one being an hour, and then one being a 10-hour rest. That 10-hour rest is essentially considering passing into the next day. So all of your recoveries come back at the beginning of that next day because you have passed into a new day.
I take that.
But you
That's
do
fine.
actually take that 10 hours to do so. So you guys have been resting for a decent period of time. Jax, you wake up and you're just kind of, you didn't rest well, potentially because you were woken up fairly early into
Mhm.
it and you are
Yep.
still somewhat injured. So you just kind of gird yourself as you take another. Okay, I'm good. I'm going to force myself to be good.
I rolled a 4 on that other one, so now I'm back up to 10
better.
total.
Okay, good.
Kale will probably wake on their own fairly early because they're an early riser. They used to like bake stuff before people came in for breakfast. So they'll wake up on their own and then kind of like, oh, you didn't wake me. Are you all right?
I'm all
They're
right.
like
I mean, I'm
rubbing
all
their
right.
eyes
I'm
and
cool. It's all
trying
good.
to get their hair moving the right way again.
Mm-hmm.
T, I have something
You know what?
caffeinated.
Sure. I'll take it. Yeah.
We'll find Pico and get some water in there. Make something very strong.
I'm,
Probably
I'm
their
take
gonna,
some
finest
tea too.
Dolphin tea.
I'm gonna be staring at Sybil, just like with a little confusion and just like.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Quietly make tea and serve us each a cup.
Sybil, you wake completely opaque.
Great.
Yeah. When you wake up, you are still completely opaque.
Has she like fallen through me?
No,
Very solid right now.
yeah. Sybil is solid and opaque when she wakes up, and while she
Good.
might
Didn't sleep
have had a
very well.
nightmare, yeah, while she had a nightmare, it did not trigger anything else. I love the confusion on Joel's face right now.
Yes. It's like, why is that a thing you're
It's 50%
specifying?
my player, my character, and 50% me because I didn't know about this until just.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
why are you awake? Why did someone ask if you fell through them?
Yeah.
And
Why is
why
it
do you make your dreams a reality?
notable that you are solid?
Kale,
Yes.
are they usually so? I'm trying to think of the appropriate word for it.
Snuggly?
No, not the word I was looking for.
Oh,
It was-
I mean, that's new. That's whatever.
Yeah.
It suits them.
Cool. No, just making sure.
Hale, do you have any more of that mushroom stuff?
Oh,
Above.
you should.
Pop.
I'll grab some. Yeah, grab my stuff out, and Kale actually has like a very elaborate carve making set. So they bring out this little fancy jeweled thing with like a little mortar and pestle, and they take these dried strips of mushroom, crush it in there, add a bunch of different herbs and spices. It seems like most of their valuables, other than the bag of clips, are varieties of tea or tea making supplies. They don't have a lot of stuff that, if you wanted to steal, would seem like particularly valuable. But they take excellent care of it. And so they then will make these herbs and spices and whisk it up until it's frothy. And then pour out a very dark liquid into a cup for Sybil.
Excellent. Thank
The GM is sensing that Joel has never heard of mud water.
I haven't heard of a lot of things that are happening today.
If Boulder's got the same expression, I'll give you a little bit of a wink and just be like, "Deep your specialty. I could always whip you up one if you wanted."
Pretty good, honestly.
I'll take one. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
It's
but
tastier than you think it is. I mean,
I'll
I've
repeat
drunk
the
actual
process.
mud water
Yeah, it's
before.
Me too.
so it is made from a variety of powdered mushrooms and spices with a little bit of sugar added in and stuff like that. In this particular case, probably crystallized honey as opposed to sugarcane. But it has like this kind of earthiness to it, just slightly bitter and sweet and spices. So it's similar to some teas that you've had, but thicker and very high caffeine.
I wrote up a recipe for it at one point. Where is that?
Is it like
Oh,
a
here it
real
is.
recipe?
Yeah, I did. I basically
God.
used like a chaga recipe and then modified it a little bit. I can't find it, but I remember saying that it had a bit of a chocolatey taste with pleasant bitterness offset by the spices and sugar, and says it has numerous health benefits.
Yep.
Kale's particular house blend is, of course, a close-held secret, but mainly they add honey instead of sugar and add a dash of nutmeg and clove to bring out the savory notes of the mushroom.
Yep.
I think I'll just pretend drinking it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Like this is like a real world drink that we have taken into the game.
Yes.
Mm.
Except it's made with like magic cave mushrooms here.
Yeah.
Um,
Magic cave
I'm a
mushrooms
big
that
fan
are
of
very
magic
high
cave
caffeine.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Very high
moment
caffeine.
that
This shit will wake you up.
the moment that Sybil like rises off of Jax, he like moves over to the other side of the room where no one is at.
Mhm.
At least as far as what he can from everybody, but still being within like earshot, being able to speak to everybody. And he does a handstand and he raises one arm and starts doing
There
push-ups.
it is.
Of course he does. Of course.
How
Kale
is
just like
he?
side eyes you for a minute and then just goes back to their tea.
How
You
is he
should be used
still
to
the
this by
weirdest
now.
one of the three of you? I don't understand.
I gotta do my morning. Ow, gosh. Okay, no, it's too
These
sore.
are 2 feet.
And he
to
switches
wash 'em.
hands.
It's
Maybe
probably
take
still
take a day.
No,
at least
Why
nothing that
don't you
flexes the
just-
abs today. No ab flexion.
Why don't you just lean on the wall and then do like a lighter version of the X so you don't, because you're in pain.
no pain, no gain. They say. Ow.
Who's that? Who?
Lots of pain.
Who's this?
And it's just sore. Oh, I think that one opened up. Hold
Oh
on.
god.
and he does stop and he's
careful.
Like, oh, gosh.
Okay. Okay. All right.
No, I'm
so,
fine.
So what's today's plan? What are we doing today? What's our plan for today?
Oh.
Captain
Good question.
Princess?
Oh, absolutely not. It is too early to deal with that. Kale? Kale, what are we doing
What's the
today?
plan?
I'll wait and see if our contact comes back. We should rest and
I love that.
think of other things for a
Eat.
while. We had quite the day yesterday.
Wait, it was just so much weight.
And I'm guessing that you guys are trying to assess your situation to determine what to do for the rest of the day. Anyone peeking outside?
I will.
We will together.
We
at the
both.
same time.
Yeah.
We'll
You
do that
do-
Scooby-Doo thing where one is like this and then the other
With
one's like
stacked
this.
heads.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Kale, the mention of there being more than 2 guards did actually, while it was potentially a lie at the time, did actually seem like that is an unusual amount. Because usually the guards are really only there if they are there to grab someone or to partake of entertainment. Looking out, there are pairs of guards walking around
Oh
and
no.
looking into buildings.
There
It
you go.
has reduced the liveliness of the area of deep view that you are in. A couple seem to even stop and question individuals who look very reluctant to even be talking to them. You know at least that in deep view, there's not going to be a lot of people that do the whole snitching, especially out in the open. If you're going to get someone to snitch, you're going to have to pay for that information. So they are
Yep.
not likely to obtain good information the way that they are currently going about it. But
AGAB
they
is
do
very
seem
much
to
the
be
watchword down here.
but they do seem to be on patrol looking for someone or something.
There's
There are
3
people
someones.
in uniform
Or 4.
Yeah.
as a uniform presence that had not been there the day before.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna, in that case, I'm gonna just get back inside and I'm gonna be like, you two, and I point at Sybil and Kale. Need to figure out what we're doing next because cars are around. I am gonna find a
Gods.
distraction, and I'm grabbing the chair that Sybil fell off of. So between here and probably an hour or two, we might have to skedaddle into a different new direction. I'm opening the door. So think about it, Captain Princess, Kale, and we'll talk about it later. Bye.
You're doing this now?
What I'm gonna do is
I'm gonna follow.
I'm gonna sit outside
Mhm.
and I'm gonna pull out a harmonica out of my pocket and I'm just gonna start playing it.
Do you actually have both hands up so that you've got to tickle around part of it and then your hand
I'll
holding the
have the
other?
one hand.
Okay.
Just a 1.
Yeah. Because I I was about to say that that might gather some attention, but there is a variety of
tentacle arm.
yeah, there is a variety of people of odd or unusual appearances down in Deep View.
Mhm.
It's not as passing of those without change as it is out on the surface. So just like they saw the first time they came down into Deep View in the game, you do see the occasional person that is like their entire body is entirely a different color. Like at one point, when they were down there previously, they saw someone that was bubblegum pink with bright teal hair. So it's just one of those things of there is unusual appearances down here in a higher percentage than where the groups are more evenly meshed outside of Isonbridge. But yeah, so like you're just there and you're just kind of playing the harmonica.
Just watching in case any guards are coming our way. Just kind of gently water bend them past our domicile.
Jax is
Nobody's
going
here but a
to
sailor. Don't look here. It's fine.
Jax is going to remain.
I'm going to try to push Jax back inside. The more if he
Jax
I'm going to try and pull him back.
No, you're not letting me get it out.
Let him get it out. Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk.
Jax is not going outside. Jax is going to remain right on the door. Like he's going to have his ear, or if there's a way to peek out, he will. Without opening the door, but otherwise he'll have his ear, or he'll just be like paying really close attention to the door. And if anyone besides Balder tries to open it, attack. This is gonna happen.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So Balder, I would like an intellect task to perform this particular, whether it's the performance for that or the acting and deceiving, however you want to use it. It is a DC 4. Do you have any skills that would ease that?
I have pleasant social interactions. I
call
could
that
be
close
like,
enough. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, like I'll call that close enough as you know how to look unthreatening
on the dice.
That is very, very good. So you look like just kind of someone who is down there and enjoying their time off and playing some actually fairly decent music, and a couple of the denizens of Deep View, having seen you go in and out and the group in their sneak in that they did, play along with that 19 and even occasionally flip you a clip on their way past to make it look even more like you are just a normal busker. Inside. What would you say you guys are doing? Because like it was, you guys need to figure this out. Grab a chair. Bye. And just dipped. And then suddenly there's harmonica music outside.
Right.
That was not communicated.
Guards are looking for us. Maybe, probably. There aren't guards down here. Guards are not liked down here.
Understood.
So they must be searching for us.
We still have all the papers.
Yes. I was already thinking last night that we should find a place to hide them, and I don't know of anywhere safe on the surface.
Okay, so I don't know how safe it could be, but would it be... Tell me how stupid of an idea this is, Caleb. If we hide them in my house, my parents' house, it's not like they would expect it.
No, it's not a terrible idea, but the logistics of getting things there might be difficult.
Right.
Sneak back to the surface somehow. Unless you're family can meet us somewhere?
I've got a little brother. He might be able to meet us somewhere. He wouldn't be able to get down here, probably. We'd have to get
But
closer.
if we could get the papers to a mole who's on the surface, just selling mushrooms or whatever, he could meet up with them.
Yeah.
You trust your
Yeah.
brother, though. I know things are difficult between you and your mothers,
Absolutely.
but you trust your brother.
Yes.
That might be our best bet. I will see if we can get the papers to them. That shouldn't be bad to arrange. We need to then figure out where we're putting ourselves, because I don't know how long Baldur's going to be able to hold them.
Is that what he's doing right now?
Yes. Yes.
That's what that is.
Yes, very much so. I
Great.
think if you hear a knock or a kick on the door, we should run.
It's rather
Where?
nice music, honestly.
Run where?
Tunnels? I don't like it any better than you do.
There's definitely
Jax
a
is-
back exit. I mean, like it's
Oh,
deep
it's
here.
the moles.
But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, I meant just
This is a mole safe house.
where are we gonna go? We're gonna
Down.
go deeper.
Jax
Oh,
is still very much listening. But this might take a little bit of attention to say this, but he's gonna say, all worst comes to worst, I know the forest like the back of my hand, so we could survive out there for quite some time.
Isn't it dangerous in the forest?
is it
I mean, I
more-
live there.
less dangerous than tunnels, probably.
You got stabbed and it didn't kill you, so your level of danger is very different than mine.
You
I've
won't
never
get
left
hurt.
the city before, Jax.
That's
I've
really
never
nice
been
out
in the
there.
woods.
You know, the animals are really kind. Yeah, if you establish dominance,
What do you eat? Where do you
you
sleep?
just wherever in caves, you can build stuff. Stuff you can, in a cave or in a tree. Sometimes, it's where whatever you can find. Really, I mean, unless you want to make like a permanent home, then you can build one of those. But like I
mean,
I
they're
like
probably
to live by nature. Whole thing.
I don't know how much good we're going to be able to do for anyone running around in the woods.
I mean, we could always, come back. We just, I doubt they're just going in the woods is what I mean. Is, we don't have to like run around and worry about, being like stabbed or whatever every time we walk out a door.
All right, so that's one option. We could go deeper. We know that from what Sabah said, the council is looking for other caches of magical items, but it's very likely that if they ran into the same defenses that we did, it's going to be difficult for them to crack. So we could potentially stay at your grandfather's house.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We
And
could.
that Jax, you hear someone approach Baldur outside.
Oh no.
Okay.
He
And Baldur-
immediately gets quiet.
A couple of the guards do approach, and they seem to initially just be okay, listening, and then one of them gestures for your attention. And they are walking around in pairs, so it is two of them that walk up to you.
I'm gonna hold my hand up to everybody inside.
Howdy
We're
do.
eh,
Gotta do for you.
we're just looking for a couple of people and hoping that someone of your, and they look you up and down, fine standing, would be able to let us know if you've seen them. There's a pair of people at large currently that have kidnapped one of the students of our college.
It's,
Oh no.
All with, I know that it doesn't seem that unusual down here, but blue arms,
alarms.
a muscle. He's supposed to be absolutely vicious. Don't approach him if you do see him. And another one, fairly short, a tea shop owner that was apparently using their shop as a front for a smuggling ring. Like teal hair, wears glasses, we have a couple of sketches, if that would
Really?
help. And they show
I'd
you
like to
very
see it.
poorly
All right.
drawn pictures of Jax and Kale.
Yeah, what you
They
look at
have
there.
abducted the daughter of some advisors from
You got a
the
drawing
college.
of the victim too? Might be easier to recognize.
Yes, and they reach into a pocket, and this is much more detailed because they had something better to work off of. And it
Right.
is a perfect depiction of Sybil.
What?
And there's like some smudges around it that indicate that it was from some sort of family portrait that like seems to be like a hand on her shoulder, but no indication of the other people that she would have been drawn with.
That's mighty interesting. I've seen her before. Not them.
You've seen her
It
around?
was, well, not around here. No, I tend to go down to the docks more often than not. I'm actually on break right now, which is sailed in. But I do recognize her. I think she's probably been down there at least once or twice. Just in the past, I don't know, year or so.
She went to the docks. I would like you to roll for social interaction again, because you are deceiving them.
I am attempting to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jax motions into
It's gonna
everybody
be
inside to get ready
another.
to move.
It's gonna be another 12. So
13 on the
four.
dice.
It's like,
Just good enough. Just good enough. Which your pleasant social interactions would have dropped that to a 9. So you're clear. And so they like kind of look at each other. She's been down.
I imagine
A college kid down at the docks. I
imagine if this is a kidnapping, probably like the best way to. I mean, I've never done it before, but imagine keeping them in the city within your reach is kind of mighty dumb, don't you think? I imagine they probably would have tried. Like she didn't, from what I remember, she didn't look very what's the word, in distress. I've also never quite seen it before, so I don't know if that's just what she heard like what's the word, her despair looks like.
well, we don't know how long they've had her.
Right.
They
You got like a
approached
window
her
of time.
uncle recently. They approached her uncle recently about a reward for finding her. Was how
Oh,
they put
really?
it. Yeah.
That's mighty interesting. Do you know how much that reward is? I'm not saying that I want it or that I know anything.
They pull out a couple of papers and look at the report. They didn't say. It's obviously some sort of ransom, and we're looking around for any type of information. They were just with her uncle a day or two ago.
This is
Which
mighty.
is how we found out
Really,
about it.
really
Like
recent,
she's
right?
been gone for weeks, and it's just if you have any information.
Oh well, I'd say probably the dogs. The warehouse district is also a pretty good place to go looking for people that don't want to be found. A lot of little alleyways up there that you could potentially look down.
So they're writing all of this down.
Yeah.
You're the first person that has willingly spoken to them.
My grandpapa used to tell me that even in rich people districts, sometimes, like, I mean, again, I'm not particularly versed in the academic endeavors of the individuals up in the rich people district area up there, but I have heard that they're apparently sometimes going like these, they call them raging parties. There might be a couple people up there that just might have been, maybe she's in a party out there somewhere. Yeah,
they're like writing it down.
I've had it happen in a couple of my ships where just people just are like, hey, I want to party, and then they just want to party in international waters because the laws are different there. But not that I'm saying that I've ever done it. I'm just saying that I've heard about it from other people that are not me.
So Jax, you're hearing all of this too, since you're right at the door.
Yeah. Jax is mad that Jax is probably visibly angry that they're saying that we kidnapped Sybil, but
Are we catching any of this? Because I'm sure Sybil and I are exchanging a glance.
Like, you might hear the occasional word and the murmur of speaking, but you would have to be like right there at the door or listening at a window or something to get like actually what is being said. But yeah, so they'll like write all of these notes down as you're like, oh yeah, like raging parties and seeing her hanging out at the docks and stuff. They're just buying into everything that you're saying and like nodding and writing it down. If you have any information, I know that her uncle and her parents are very concerned about her, and I am sure that they will reward it with anything that you could possibly deserve.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I used to have a niece. She also got missing. Found half of her in an alligator 20 miles up north. It was a disastrous time. So I hope to find this person that you're looking for. Nothing know there.
Yes, thank you.
No, thank you
And
for your
they
service.
they like just kind of nod at each other and go and catch up with a couple of the other guards, and one of the ones that you spoke to and the partner of the other guards walk off, and then those two join each other and continue with their rounds searching for information.
I want to go back to
in-
playing my harmonica until they're far enough away that I think that they won't hear me, and then pulled back inside.
The tableau inside, I'm sure, is like Jack's right by the door. Kale has their trunk and is ready to run down a tunnel if needed. Sybil, what are you doing?
I think Sybil's just standing in the middle of the room, like holding the papers, like.
So what's the plan?
Okay.
They're gone
Oh.
for now.
I don't like this plan at all. But
What? Oh,
it is a
okay.
plan that allows us a safe place to stay, and we can still help you search for Ruby, if that is their name.
Who's Ruby?
Face.
You're missing
Oh.
someone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Ruby.
definitely missing someone.
Yeah. I missed it very much.
I'm giving you a side eye on that one, but I'll let it go for now. Right.
Right.
There is a place deeper in the tunnels that is potentially safe. The problem is, we will not have access to food down there very easily. So we can't hold up there for long without returning to the surface for supplies.
I mean, I feel like that's fine. Oh, sorry, I'm
I-
slipping back into the accent. I'm sorry.
But a few days might be enough for this to blow over.
If we can,
That's debatable. But
if we can get to my grandfather's place, we can get to Vukin's place. Then we know that there's an easy access tunnel back and forth through a council members. We know that we have easy access to topside.
That's
Right?
true.
Does your uncle or grandpa, sorry, live in either the docks or the rich people's areas?
No.
Very much the opposite.
Very much.
Fantastic. Because those are the places that I sent them on a wild goose chase.
So
Oh,
they were
wonderful.
looking
Thank
for
you.
us then.
Thank you.
they were
Oh yeah,
they were
here.
looking.
I didn't
for
even give them the
you.
papers back.
Nose
Poor-
isn't that big.
Yeah, poorly drawn, like trying to base it off of the description of Sabar, who was drunk most of the time that she was interacting with you, and Harper, who did not want to look at you because you were commoners. So poorly depicted drawings of the
weird
two
commoners.
of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Where I'm from,
and
papers like
then
these are just the best thing in the world.
Okay.
From what I heard,
Thank you, Balder.
it seems
Thank
as
you.
if they thought that, they saying the lie that we, any emotions between Kale and himself, that we kidnapped.
Of course they did. Of course they would say
So-
that.
Oh, this is Shelly. He
It's
said
a consolation. You are kidnappers. just not of Sybil.
Yeah,
I-
we are not kidnappers. You
Well,
can
no,
Sybil-
you kidnapped me.
The
That-
drawing of you is a good year old. It's still like recent enough to where you look like it, but you recognize that is the last family portrait, which Harper does not have a copy of. So they had to go to your parents
That's your mom.
Oh
to
no.
get that.
So problem. This is from my house.
Oh. Oh
Yeah,
no.
this
I
isn't.
mean, it's a copy of it, but yeah.
But this is Michelli doesn't have this. This is from my parents. Michelli
So
did
the
say
idea.
They are
Yeah.
offering a reward for you, so it makes sense.
Why don't
Oh.
we just bring the papers with us? We can hide them at Vukan's for now.
sure,
And then your brother is not in any danger.
sure.
We will need supplies. If Baldur, if you could run one more errand for us, please. But we should leave
I'd be
soon.
mighty great for me to do that. Yeah, I'd do it. That's what I'm trying
Sybil,
to
do
say.
you- What do you have for clips?
Uh,
Oh, I got a couple.
We'll like
Yeah,
pool our
sure.
money.
I just pull out whatever money I got from everybody, and also the money that I kept from Kale. From
so
Yeah.
it has more than
Okay.
she ought to. Is
Yeah.
my mindset. She
Yeah.
pulls out like, and I'm like, basically, I imagine the equivalent of like a couple $100, just being like, "Is this anything?"
Yeah, it's just like this little
That'll do.
pouch that you kept on the
That'll do.
inside of your clothing that like it's just like this bag filled with clips.
Oh, well, give me a moment. And Kale will like write down a shopping list that includes an extra bedroll so that we're not sleeping on the ground because there's only one bed.
And we broke
There's
it.
one destroyed bed.
We
An
destroyed it. So, like,
absolutely
a
destroyed
couple
bed.
bedrolls, and a couple days food, and then some fresh water, and a torch. And then we'll be like, if you could pick these up, that would be ever so helpful.
It'll take a while.
Oh, that's fine. We will lay low.
I look at
And,
Jack.
hopefully
And then I
my
look back at Kale.
contact will be here by then, and then we can leave.
Sounds good. I'll go.
Okay.
I'll be back soon.
Well, with that, I'm gonna say that we will go on break because I at least need a bio break.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we will come back with Baldur getting supplies and you guys potentially making a break for it.
GTFO.
Yeah.
Also, oh man.
Yeah, you get it?
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yep, good.
And welcome back from break, complete with or not. I'm sorry.
Good
I
cat.
scared away the
I
kitty
tried.
cat. But yes, so we are back from break. Welcome back. I hope that everyone has refreshed themselves. And let's just drop right back into it. Balder, you have gone off in search of some supplies. Are you guys doing anything else or needing to talk about anything else while you're waiting? Or just
are.
like wait until he gets back?
I'm writing that note to the moles, just sort of outlining the what was happening. So when my contact shows up, I can just pass it off and be like, take this to somebody.
Okay.
So I'm like,
I
in
think
serious writing.
I think seeing that, Sybil's gonna be like, Kale, if I give you a letter for my brother, do you think one of the moles can get that to him? Just
Probably. Is there somewhere that he frequents
uh
that's away from your family home and maybe in a less fancy part of town?
I mean, he goes to school, and I mean, there are a couple of parks that I know that he likes to go to pretty frequently, but
Oxford book.
parks, we could do that. Actually, you remember the one that we went to, the really, really high up
Oh,
one?
yes. Yes.
He doesn't go there very often, but what season? I
It's
if we
spring.
it goes more when it's warm out. We could, I mean, if we get a note to Mole, and then just hope that they find him.
They're very good at finding people.
Okay. And she'll just.
It may be a little bit. Just a few clips.
I gave you pretty much everything I had, so.
Right, I'll sort through the pile and take out a sufficient payment for a job this nebulous.
Great.
Yeah.
It's not just the standard few clips run an errand for me. It's like find this specific person who may or may not be there.
Yeah.
Little pricey.
Yeah. Will possibly require some teamwork even.
Yeah.
Because of where it is. But
It'll be
yes, so
fine.
so you write your note, and while Balder is out getting you guys supplies, eventually the little mole networker does drop by, and it's not at that front door, it's at the back one that you guys intend to go out. Slips in like super stealthily. In fact, Jax, since you're the one that is on alert, go ahead and roll awareness, intellect based, DC of 5, a task difficulty of 5, so 15 or better.
That is, you know what? I'm gonna re-roll this because Jax
Not
loves
good.
to be alert, and to be surprised would not be fun. Oh, that's only slightly better. That's a 13.
All right, so you don't actually catch the moment that the door opens, but you do see someone slipping towards you from that back door that was kind of blocked off with a couple of boxes, and it's just this ragged-looking little kid that slips in and like shifts over to Kale, just popping up right by your elbow, Kale.
Jump. Huh. Good to see you. Listen, we got some notes here that need run into the surface. It's not good. One of them's a bit of a big job.
Yeah, you've kind of been made.
Yeah, I know. We're going to deal with that.
Did you kidnap her?
Oh, no, of course not.
No, these guys are my friends. I promise.
Okay.
Also, they're trying to, make sure that we're seen as criminals because they don't particularly like the sorts of things that we've found out down in the deeps,
Yeah. All right. We'll. I guess we'll, you know, spread the word that
Aye, thank you.
shift attention. Do you
Good.
need Do you need us to pull a job or anything to bring the heat off of you?
Just gonna let it calm down on its own, I think. Go lie down, lay low for a few days. See what happens.
Okay.
Make more plans.
Is this like when that guy got dragged away because he looked like a rock?
We freed him. That's what this fuss is all about. We went and broke him out of jail. They didn't even have him in the proper jail. They had him in this 1 hour way out by the, I don't name a specific tunnel.
Yeah.
They haven't
Okay.
stashed anyone there in years, but they'll open it up again for anyone that looks weird.
The kid who has like gills along his neck goes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Kale also has their sleeves like rolled up to the just about to the elbow, so their weird arms are very much on display.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, watch your backs. Tell the other moles to watch themselves. It's gonna get real dangerous down here soon. I mean, it already has with the guards sniffing around.
Yeah. Boss said that he knows someone who might be able to get some information.
Does he?
Yeah.
Anyone willing to share? Or should I just
I
check
don't
back in
know.
a few?
Yeah, I don't know. He said that heat like this is weird. So he said to pass along that he knows someone that might be able to get some info. Didn't seem
Right.
like you to pick up a kid without them wanting.
No, of course
You
not.
would.
No, we stood the part right good.
And then the boy, he's like maybe 10, looks over at you, Sybil. You're a lot older than they make you seem when they're talking about it.
Yeah, they have a tendency to. Yeah, that's probably my fault. Kale, did you give him the note
Oh
for me?
yes. This one's supposed to go to this one's brother. Give a like brief description. Hangs out around X Park at this park. It's gonna be a big job though, so I'll hand over a reasonable rate for that.
I'll have to pass this on.
I figured you might need help on that one, but
We need one of the grabbers for that. I mean, up top.
yeah, like I said, I knew it would be a big job. Anything topside, especially these days with the guards sniffing around, is gonna be a little dicey.
All right. Yeah, okay. I take care of yourself, I guess.
We'll try. And make
Okay.
sure this, and I'll hand my note, gets into the hands of the boss.
Okay. Yeah.
Stay safe. Remember, we all work, we all dig, we all get to overtime for supper.
Um, and this time watching him, you guys see why it was so difficult to notice him. He doesn't quite have the same power that you've seen Sybil display, but instead of going partially transparent, it looks kind of like he fades into the background, like some sort of chameleon or cloaking type of ability that he has developed that he just instinctively does as he tries to back up. And when you lose eye contact with him, he seems to just kind of shift out of your awareness.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's really cool. And it was
Oh,
very
cool.
something to me.
So
It's
yeah,
just it's really cool as well. I'm just enjoying
Yeah.
the storytelling.
so
This
the
is
kid,
what I
yeah,
do
he
when
just
I'm
like,
watching the VODs. This is just me. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Kind
well,
of like
the kid,
frowns
yeah,
and then
just-
goes, "That's a neat trick." Stay
so
safe.
yeah, the kid just like disappears into like the background of the house, and then you slightly hear the sound of the door opening. but the door is blocked by the mess that's in this house. So it's not even easy to see it happen. You just kind of hear it. But
Right.
Balder will
Uh,
eventually come back. Did you have something
How
you were doing
long
before?
is?
It's going to take Balder at least an hour to grab some stuff.
Can I make an hour recovery roll?
Yes, you can.
You probably should before we go into the deeps again.
Yeah. Yeah. GM
Back up to 4.
question.
Um,
GM question.
Mhm.
The last 2 routes that you took to get to where you intend to go, one of them was in a different part of the depths and had to do with a collapse.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other one was a hidden stairway that you are not currently near.
So we got to do the other option.
What's your plan? Have
The
you
way that
come up
doesn't-
with a plan for that?
The way that doesn't require us to have intense climbing gear is the route that our crystal man took.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's either that or
Okay.
go down the crevasse, and we do not have the climbing gear for the crevasse.
Just
and our third
jump.
option, the middle one, is gone. It collapsed.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Cave in. So it's
Oh, that is true.
crystal route now.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys, yeah, it's a little bit. You can find the supplies easily enough, Balder. You may not be a native to the city, but you've been around enough frequently to where you can get an idea of where things are. And while it's odd for you to be like lugging around that much supplies, at least looking like a sailor, it helps to ease the suspicion. So the like 1 or 2 of the guards kind of take a look at you as you're walking by with all of that stuff, but they're concerned with other things, so they don't stop to question you.
Yeah, they're concerned with Sybil, the party princess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if all else fails, I can just ask for directions.
But yeah, so you make it back. You've got your supplies. You guys have had your visit from the mole.
Kyo spends the rest simultaneously fretting and trying to psych themselves up for what is to come.
Okay.
They do not want to go back to the depths.
Yeah, so Balder, you return to Kale looking less enthusiastic even than before, and that is saying something.
You're right.
We have to go down to the depths. There's no getting around it. Just keep telling myself that. It'll be fine.
You're in deep view as far as you know. This is the depths as far as you know,
This is as
Balder.
deep as it goes.
Are we saying we're going deeper? There's a deeper?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's much deeper.
Much deeper.
Jax, you said that you can punch your way through a cave-in? That's still true.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
We might need that. Great. Good.
Don't love this.
Oh,
This-
Why are we talking about cave-ins?
Just
They
'cause it might
happen.
happen.
They may happen.
And
They
this
happen
is the
Both
safest
the
route?
times I've been down in the deeps recently, so that's lovely. Let's get going before I lose my nerve.
Safe is very relative. I mean, where we're going, the only thing trying to kill us is just kind of the earth
And that monster in the water,
and
and
also
the
the.
defense systems, and a half dozen other things. I'm
But
sure.
it's mostly just like
Monster-
being-
also,
monster
the
in
deeper
water?
you go, the stronger magic gets. So who knows what changes might happen to you while we're down there.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of still stuck on monster in the water.
it's
Anytime-
fine.
Yeah, Jax
Jax
killed it.
punched
Fine.
it a couple of times and it went away.
Is it like
It's
the ones
okay.
upstairs?
What do you mean upstairs? Where upstairs?
Well, if we're in the depths, this is below the city, right? So like in the lake water area.
There's monsters in the lake.
I knew it.
Probably the same. Yeah, I would imagine.
Oh, well, that's easy to deal with. Yeah, no, it's fine.
We're going under the lake.
Oh, are we going on the? Then there's no problem. We're gonna be fine.
Right.
Do you want me to lead,
Wonderful.
walk out front? You can just point me where to go. You know.
I should probably lead. I know the way.
You have to be.
We're going to have to take a different route though because ours collapsed. And I don't think any of us are up for the crevasse.
I'd be fine. Well, actually,
Yeah.
Baldur, you said you don't have to breathe
Would-
either.
Well, I mean, in one context.
In the living, breathing in the normal
No,
context of breathing.
No, I need to breathe.
I thought you said you didn't have to.
Oh no. I breathe on the water. I still need to breathe. I would die if I had no.
Oh, kind of like.
oxygen. Yeah.
Oh,
Just I can underwater.
got it. Got it.
Wonderful.
I thought no, I'm not a. No, I have to breathe. Yeah.
Okay, no reason. Let's go.
We should definitely go.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Jax, here, and I'll hand all of what I bought and I brought over to him.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. We have
Strong
what's
man.
left of our packs from
Are
the
they
escape.
in
We'll like
bags at least?
distribute supplies.
Yeah, it would be like one of those big backpacks and like one of those big bulky. I would have figured out a way to carry it.
I'm imagining Crunk from
Yeah,
Emperor's New.
very much.
I'd like, I have no problem carrying all this. I'm just saying, I have no
Oh,
problem
yeah.
doing it. I want to let you know, though, that if something happens, I'm not taking time to put it down to fight anything. So
I'm just
going
gonna take
Carry
it back.
my trunk.
Lead the way, Captain Princess.
Kale.
All right, let's go.
Didn't even argue that time.
No.
So yeah,
if danger comes a knocking, Jax opens the door.
That's
yeah.
true.
So
Great.
instead of taking the way that he came back, which has the cave in, you take the route that the dude exited through. Okay. So let's just go ahead and have stealth rolls from everyone since you're trying
I'm
to sneak.
sure would make us wear those cloaks at least to cover our hair.
Yep. So
Just
these
chilling.
are these are might rolls
There's a mic.
because
Oh,
because it has to do with
sorry.
dexterity and movement.
I'm good at
is
this.
That's a
is this a-
20 on the dice.
I used
this a
my
might
daily
defense?
reroll because I rolled bad.
So
Then I got an
20
18.
Yeah, 2018.
Using my
This-
roll.
Amazing, by the way.
19.
19.
The real question is: this a might defense task? Because those are hindered for me.
It is not a defense task. It is just
Okay.
the way that you move and step and walk. It's just the overall physicality of attempting to be stealthy.
Got it. I got a 17.
We
17.
all did good.
We're doing
So
great.
you all did
Fun.
absolutely amazing. And like
Probably.
part of Baldur's natural fucking 20, which hello, is not just that Baldur is stealthy and unassuming. If you do happen to catch a glance at him, he just seems to be nonchalant and exactly where he belongs. It is the embodiment of I belong here, don't notice me. Like
These
I
rolls
am
are
busy.
very sturdy.
You're flying so casual. Just
Yeah, you
the
are
most
so casual and look to be so unassuming that like people wouldn't even want to like ask you what you're doing there or ask you to do something. You're just barely noticeable, and at that when they do, it's just you are perfectly blended in. But you shift and you move and you walk and you pass by these variety of buildings and duck past where guards are still trying to gather information, and you see that a couple have been bullied out of what look like bars. One of them very obviously has an alcohol stain down his uniform.
If it ever
Good.
gets to a point where I feel like they might be noticed,
Yeah.
I'll try to just kind of approach from the other side and just help be distraction if necessary. Just to
But
Why?
one of the various like tunnel caves leading out of this dark area, which it's good that Kale is leading because Kale can see. You wander into. And it's that slight moistness that comes from waterside caves around you, lichen, and gradually you see little sections of the glowing bioluminescent silkworms occasionally lighting bits of this. Kale, I'm going to ask you to attempt to find the way because it branches off
Right.
very quickly.
Let me make my navigation roll.
I believe in you.
16.
16. Good. I need to start actually telling you the DCs as we're going along. But yes, so 16, definitely good enough. You take a turn and then another turn, and things start getting steep and tight. And you know that this is one of the ways into the depths that the moles occasionally take to scavenge. You
Sure don't like
recognize
it when
the
the walls
path.
start closing in. Don't like that.
You recognize the path. And then you see what looks to be a tight squeeze that most of the moles generally don't take, because usually to get to anywhere that's going to have something worth profit, it's easier to get to. But that's something's drawing you that direction. And you squeeze through this tight area of rock.
That.
Yeah.
I imagine
And-
Pico wakes just long enough to like give me a little nudge in the side of the face and like a little reassurance, and I'll grit my teeth and squeeze my way through.
And you have found one of the cracked hidden openings into one of those stairwells.
Ooh. Right. If you can squeeze through, there's a way down here. Jax, pass the bags through. I'll bring them through.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'll take everyone's stuff and do my best to fit it through there to hand it to Kale. Does
So
this look
everybody
like
goes
I'm
through?
gonna be able to? Yeah.
It'll be tight. The dude wasn't a small guy, so
Mhm.
it'll be a little tight, but you can make it through. Might
It's
get
just
a couple of
hold
scratches,
up.
but not anything that would like damage your might.
I feel like I squeezed through just fine.
Yeah, you probably make it through without issue. Same thing with Sybil. Sybil's not a
100%.
tall, bulky individual.
I just did a roll to see if Kale keeps their shit together, and I did pretty good. So
Good for Kale. But yeah, so Kale, you looking around, this isn't the same stairwell that you had been in
no.
previously, but it's got that same decorative sea glass like tile all over the place, and this one does very distinctly have a rail. Without adding light, you can't really tell the coloration of stuff, but it's got a rail for safety, which is good considering that most of these stairwells are fairly steep.
Now I'm not entirely sure where this one leads, other than down and up, I suppose. Maybe we'll get the torch going. Maybe there's markings. Let us know exactly where we are. But down for now seems to be where we're going.
Yeah, like the rest of
And
you,
back
there is
down.
no more light to aid you. So you need a light. Otherwise, you are only feeling your way down via the railing.
I'll light up a torch. I
Okay.
brought
Can I-
torches.
Can I use hedge magic to like make
Yes, you
Aw,
may.
a light?
Yes, you
nice.
may.
Great.
So describe what you're doing. Describe what you create.
I think I'm just gonna make Scott glow.
Okay.
Just
Because
so we
like
can
you've seen a similar use of hedge magic with those convenient orbs that hovered just at shoulder, and Scott is right there on Jax's shoulder
yeah.
and just starts glowing. And it's dim lighting for most of you because it's just a rat that's shining like a bulb of light. Uh, but you do without knowing that Sybil has done it because it's just like I think I can.
I think I can do this thing. And then that's not. I thought I was
Oh, Scott.
that works, I guess.
Yeah, and then Scott
Thank
just starts glowing. The
Do rats
rat that
usually
hangs
glow down here?
out.
I feel like Jack started to like light his hand up, but then he's like, okay, and he just
Thank you, Scott. That's very kind of you.
yeah, give me a fist bump right there. Yeah, good. Yeah.
All right.
Even the rats have superpowers.
Sybil says
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. She's like, "Yep, definitely
Definitely the
Scott."
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Special
Down we
rat.
go.
He's the king of the rats. I don't know if you knew.
Oh, so we have two members of royalty. Damn.
Well,
Also, remember what I
So-
said about going into the deeps, bringing up weird magic? Who knows? This could just be part of that. Let's go.
So Scott will jump off of your shoulder and scurry along the railing to help lead the way and not have the light just right there by your face the entire time. Like imagine having like a high powered flashlight right here as you're trying to walk. But yeah, so like Scott like leaps off, glowing, almost radioactive looking rat
Right.
Love it.
down the stairwell. And this is a little bit more damaged than the one that you had previously gone up and down. And it is, at this point, you're pretty sure that it is not gold plating on the handrail like you had initially thought it might have been. It is probably brass or something similar. There is a gradient of grouting around the sea glass looking greenish tile that almost seems to be in a pattern of sigils. And where those darker grouting lines form what might be sigils, there is significantly less damage to the walls. But you go, and it's another good hour of trudging in silence in this mostly dark, except for a glowing rat, stairwell deep underground, where there is a slight damage to the walls where the sigils aren't grouted in. There is moisture that seeps in, indicating that you are getting closer and closer to the river and lake. When you eventually get to the end, it has what seems to be a full break in the wall, unlike what had been the mostly sealed passage of the previous one. And looking out, you see that same skyway that you had initially come to on your first foray down into the deep city. The walls are smooth and almost glass-like in texture. The ceiling of that wide hallway is still that perfect illusion of the sky above, which you hadn't really known what time of day it was, having been in Deep View and slept for an odd period of time, and you can tell from the slightly overcast nature and the color of the sky that it is getting into evening because you guys went to bed fairly late and slept for like 10 hours.
We needed it.
Following that same instinct of the path that you had tracked and sensed, you know that your dude, Mr. Crystal, went in a different direction than you know the study to be. And from that direction, you do see an oddly colored glow that doesn't match the brightness of whatever the sky would be.
I think our friend ventured down that way. But I think where we're headed is over there.
This guy is underground. Oh, my camera is also gone for some reason.
Oh, no.
Balder, where'd you go?
I'm so stealthy, you can't see me.
Yeah, Baldur is just so stealthy that you have no idea where he
Yeah.
is.
Also, Kale seems to untense just a little bit when the sky is visible, and not just the looming dark rock overhead.
Should we check that out?
I
The
mean,
sky?
there's no
No, the thing.
pressing danger where we currently are.
It might give us some clues as to what happened to him.
Also, could just be really interesting. Sybil's like, this is the first time that she's like brightened up the entire day. She's like, "Ooh, this is a new and exciting thing to to investigate." Yes, please.
Let's go.
Jax has already started walking over it. Like when he
Sybil's
was like, "Should we go
following.
check it out?" He
We
like
didn't immediately
he,
hear
like,
no. He was like, "All
was
right, let's
going
do this."
already.
As soon as Jack starts walking, Sybil's following too.
What's happening? Where are we going? Why is he walking?
I'm gonna go look at the glowing hole over there.
Something
Go
around
forward.
here turned that gentleman that we escorted to the docks to Crystal.
Let's go.
They're
And I
trying to
start
check
walking
it out.
towards the
Yes.
hole too.
Of course. Of course.
We're all insane.
Of course. So yeah, you
My
take a
descriptor is
left
chaos.
instead of a right, essentially. And you walk, and there is a bit of a turn because this isn't a fully straight hallway like when you had gotten to it further along. And as you turn, you see it branch so that there's two ways. The glowing is coming from one particular branch, and as you take that turn, you end up in a large, cavernous room. The entire side ahead of you looks to be made of faceted obsidian, maybe. It's glassy and dark, and every facet seems to glow this strange whitish color, like instead of it being a corner to a facet, like it's a crack letting out some sort of light. And that's where that glow had come from. Around it, you see a variety of trunks and cases, several of which seem to have been broken. And let's go ahead and call a awareness check from each of you. So intellect, task difficulty of 4, so 12 or better, unless you have something that would ease the task.
15.
I have. Yeah, that's defense action.
I have
So
magic
that's a
training.
5.
Magic training would ease the task,
work?
so that brings it down to a 3, so 9 or better for you.
That's a nat 20.
Yeah, let's
Nice.
go.
I go.
All
Rocking this
right,
out.
what was Jax's?
I had a 5.
Okay, so Jax and Kale, you're mostly just like, what the fuck did we come across? An entire, like, large cavernous room that one wall of it looks to be weirdly faceted obsidian. Balder, you notice what looks to be some sort of liquid seeping out of some of the lower cracks of this faceted wall. Sybil, you see that what is glowing is some sort of liquid that's beating along the cracks of this wall that becomes a liquid that's starting to pool down at the bottom. It's this glowing white substance that is something.
Bizarre. Okay. Jax, wait, hold still real fast. And she goes and like is gonna like rattle around in her like you still have all the bags and stuff on you, right?
No,
I
Balder
don't
took
think
it
so,
right
no.
back.
Oh, I thought
Balder took that back so
Balder
that
took it
like
back.
if Jax decided to fight something, it was not
Yeah.
lost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whoever has the bag, she's gonna go and look through the bags to get out like a tube, essentially like a glass tube, because I know that I have at least one that's full of old mushrooms, hallucinogenic mushrooms, and I'm gonna dump those
Yes.
out in my
Wait,
hand.
no,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
get no, you can have them,
Damn it.
it's fine.
Okay.
No, here. And
Alright,
puts
pour
them
them
in
into my bag.
Balder's hand.
And I go, those are mildly hallucinogenic, just so you know.
Really
Even
fine.
better.
It's a
Maybe
great
for
time.
later. And she's gonna scoop up some of the stuff and just be really
Okay.
careful about not getting
Sybil?
it on her hands.
Sybil, before Captain Princess,
Yeah.
before you do that,
Yeah.
would you like me to
No,
help you?
I'm already doing it, but how would you be helping?
Well, I have the thing where I can control water.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna try to
So
water
you were
bend.
reaching for it as Balder said this?
I think like reaching the like tube to the liquid as
How
she's
close
like,
do you
I'm
get
doing
to
it.
it? How close do you get to it?
I hate that as a question.
Always
That's a bad
Uh,
question. That's
Probably,
never a good
I mean, like
question.
a foot within a foot, like.
Okay. So I would like an intellect defense task from you
Great. Where's my good dice? It's
of 6. So 18 or
Oof.
better.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
Spend some
I believe
effort.
in you.
Put some effort on that.
Do you have
Yeah.
anything that would
Knock
possibly
that
help?
down.
What do
throw
I
some
have?
effort on
Magic. I have magic training. I have the ability to re-roll. I don't want to.
I'll give you an ease of 1 from the magic training.
I don't want to do it.
Throw that effort on there.
That
So that would
is.
be 15 or better.
I'm gonna re-roll it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna use right
No.
timing. Reroll for
I
luck
believe in
for
you.
1 intelligence. Because that
I
was a
believe in
2.
you.
It is 16.
16. All right, so that is good enough. You feel something radiating off of this liquid as you approach it, which causes you to not approach that closely. You do see, as you got closer, scuffs on the ground and broken bits of crystal that don't match the wall, but do match the color and type that guy had been, potentially having gotten too close before.
I think this is where he was.
I would imagine, yes.
Balder, can you? Yeah.
No, go ahead. That was me out of character.
I was gonna ask if you could, can you even manipulate this as a liquid?
I can attempt to.
I mean, that's probably our safest way of taking it with us. It feels
Suggestion.
weird.
You might want to step back.
Oh, absolutely. I'm stepping way back.
I'm gonna take a few steps forward, not super close, like maybe 5 feet away.
I'll leave the glass tube over there.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna reach
So-
out and see if you can control.
So
liquid.
so your current ability with liquid is
It's
a sudden splash up for a shield.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do that.
So you're going to try to do that to see if you can even attempt it.
Yep.
All right,
I'm just trying to make the water move.
Do you have anything? Any thing that you've got to spend for it, like a point or whatever, or Do you have edge that negates that?
I know this information. Uh,
I love that when we
no.
come up against something dangerous and magical, we're like, let's touch it.
Oh yeah, one
Yeah.
int. It says one int action to initiate.
Yeah, so that would be 1 point of
But I-
intellect to utilize unless you
But I have
have
two
one.
inches on
You two have edge
intelligence.
and okay, so that makes it free. So yeah, you concentrate and you can feel that it is liquid, but you can't quite connect to it. It doesn't move.
Mm. That's soulless water right there.
Soulless?
Yeah. So I can't. I feel that it's a liquid, which is obviously we can all see it, but I can't connect to it like I do with normal liquids.
Right. Okay.
That's all I
May
got.
have its own resistance. I'm not sure. I don't know if any of this works.
It could be.
You might
it
have
could
had
be-
Sybil, you might have been a little bit drunk off of an expired potion at the time, but you were not able to pass through a magical barrier
Right.
when you made an
Or those
attempt.
robes.
So there may be an attempt to, or there may be a feature to it that makes it not mundane.
Sure. Do we think I know okay, we're all agreed it looks like a liquid, right? But like it might
Yes.
not be one. Can I just
Paul, did you have any jerky?
I was gonna.
Jerky that
I
is
don't-
now covered in hallucinogenic mushroom goo.
super
I
cool.
actually,
Super cool.
I was gonna do this anyway. I'm gonna throw my torch into the water.
Excellent.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Good. Our light source. No, our rat is a light
No, we
source.
have a
We're
glowing
fine.
rat.
We're fine.
If we didn't
So
have a
you
glowing rat, I
throw-
wouldn't have. But here we are.
Yeah, so you throw your torch
Effective.
into the glowing
Magical
magical
water.
liquid that
Yep.
is seeping out of an obsidian faceted wall deep, deep underground, hidden from society.
I feel like mistakes were made.
We have
No,
great
I
choices.
support this.
I'd like to preemptively do something because I feel like this is going to explode. So Jax is going
Great.
to rush forward, and if Kale and Sybil are near each other, is going to try to shield them from whatever's about to happen.
Thank you.
That is probably a good idea because
Mm.
as the torch lands, fire erupts all along every
Oh.
crevice and crack and facet of the wall.
Oh, you know, I
So
It
didn't
is
it's like
realize.
like full on flash fire.
Oh,
There is heat and dryness and stinging, and I would like everyone to roll an intellect defense task.
These are I'm trained in the
our
Again,
eyebrows are
of
just
yeah,
gone.
again of a 6, so 18 or better. Sybil,
It's
you've
not a
got your
defense roll.
magic training. Yeah, it's a defense task.
Oh well,
I
I
just-
am hindered, so
Yeah,
I'm still gonna spend some effort on this.
What's
Yeah.
the just quick? What's the difference between a regular roll and a defense roll? Do I?
so a defense roll indicates that it is an attack on your person. So in certain cases, some people may be hindered on that because while they are smart and can do things or use their charisma for stuff, they are weak to a mental attack. There are
My
mind
others
is
who may
too
be
open.
trained in mental defenses. So while it would not affect their normal intellect rolls, if they are being attacked, they are trained to defend themselves.
So a couple questions.
Uh-huh.
Would I be able to water shield in this instance, or is it?
Do you
or-
have water on you?
We did explicitly say we were going to bring water along.
That's
that I
fancy.
am
So
carrying.
that would ease your task by 1 because you
Cool.
are shielding yourself from the heat of the fire, which
puts
is
me how low?
transporting this power. So that brings you down to a 5, so 15 or better.
Cool. And then what is I can apply effort, right? That's the thing I can
Yes,
do.
you can. Yes, you
How
can.
does that work again? just to be clear.
So
I don't want to die.
I would suggest placing your edge towards your effort because it is a cost of 3 for the first level of effort versus your shield only costs you 1. So you're wasting 1 if you use it for your shield. So that would make it 1 point for your shield and then 1 point for your first level of effort to ease it by 1. So that brings it down, like, eased by 2. If you put a second level of effort, because I believe that you've got 2 effort, then that would cost you another 2 points of intellect. So you would be spending 4. And that brings it down to a 9 because it would bring it down to 3.
It's easier.
So if I do that, I would have to roll higher than a 9.
Yes.
Cool, because I rolled a 10, so I'm gonna
Great.
do that.
Great.
Okay. So you have
I
spent
gotta
4
spend
intellect.
4 intellect. Perfect. I can do that. I
Yes.
got plenty. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm trained in intellect defense.
Good. At least one of us is.
So that brings you down to 5. So
I'm so
15
sorry,
or better.
everybody.
Which is still not enough though, because I got a
Nope.
14.
Yeah, I'm guessing I spent some effort, but I am hindered. So that's even
Okay.
Steven, and it's sounding like this is a 6,
Yes.
18 or better. So I rolled a 12.
Okay. Sybil?
I rolled a 2,
Oh no.
and nothing that I can do will change that.
Great.
Can I just say that I was shielding Sybil in
You
case?
were, but I
Yes.
so
Yes,
Were
but
you
we're
touching
idiots.
them? Were you touching them?
I don't think
Yeah,
I
it
think
was a
probably I
sort of
was a
like-
step ahead of you. You're in the all of this happened at the same time.
But he like swept you in front of you, I'm
He's-
sure. He's
Well,
yeah,
good at this.
like-
the are you touching them has to do with the result,
Oh,
not the protection.
good.
He,
I am so
Oh,
sorry, everybody. I
yeah,
should not have
because
been
he
thrown
very
off the
much-
chest.
No, this is
like-
great.
like wrapped them in like a bear hug in front of him,
Yep.
so
yep.
that as much as they could be like for his body to shield whatever, because he ran in front, turned around, and grabbed them
Yep.
so that they
So-
would not be.
So, as the power radiates out from this flash fire of magic up the wall and along
good,
the
good.
room, it connects to your inherent magic and causes a magical surge in each of you that have
Oh,
failed your
good.
roll.
Great.
did we all
Love
fail?
Yes. All 3
Now
of us.
me,
Balder,
Just to
Balder
see
does
you.
not have a
Welcome to the
magical
party.
surge. So while Jax has his arms wrapped around you, his
Oh, no.
shock activates.
Yep. Good.
Kale, you burst out of your clothes once more.
Okay. For
And
Baldur's.
Sybil,
Oh, go ahead.
you go incorporeal. Like that.
Danny Phantom over here.
As there's a flash of fire and then a giant flash of lightning arcing through the room. And
And when the
as
light
this
clears-
dies down,
It's
Jax
3 points of
seems
damage.
to be hugging a very large, scaly something that looks vaguely like kale, but it is teal and has just green hair everywhere. And it's like Jax decided to hug a very large, long crocodile,
and Jax's
which is
arm
freaking out because it just got shot.
is
Um,
passing through Sybil. So how much does your shock do again? 2 points?
It does 3 points.
3 points. So both of you take 3 points of might.
that's fine. That's fine.
Hmm.
And
Do
so like the
lose my-
lightning is like gradually sparking through your body. It looks like your body is made of static electricity as the lightning continues to just gradually spark through your incorporeal body. Sybil looks like a fucking ghost.
oh no, I killed Sybil.
And I let out like a somewhere between Kale's sort of yell of pain and a deep gonging noise, like like a rumble of distant thunder and bells. Yeah. I'm trying to, I try to like thrash my way out of this grip because something is shocking me and everything is
Jax
terrible.
will let go as soon as he realizes that he's like
I
shocking them.
rolled a nat 20 to break loose from your grip. And I don't know what that will do in dragon form.
Well, nat 20 is a major effect, so you can
That's true.
knock him down, you can stun him, you can throw him.
Throw him
Are
into
you
the
Yeah,
going
wall.
to throw him because his back is toward the wall with the goo?
I am going to just thrash, I think, and I think instinctually, like an anaconda, like wrap around him to try and
Okay.
stop this thing that is
Okay.
hurting me. And so
Okay.
Jax will then get like constricted and then have this almost crocodilian mouth full of not like as long as a crocodile, but like a half human, half snout full of fangs stop like right by your face. Before Kale gets control of himself. It does not bite you in the face.
He does not flinch.
So, Balder, you can feel the energy and inherent magic, and you don't really fully understand that it is magic, but you can feel inherent power in this room having surged out. And all three of your briefly known acquaintances have erupted in effects.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Kale is like panting and then goes, Jax?
Yep. As he's like he's trying to stop
happened?
the like lightning from coming out.
All right.
Is it just like ongoing or like
It was a sudden flash of it. So if he makes an effort to stop it, it would stop.
got it?
Yeah, well, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once the shocking stops, that's when Kale kind of gets control of himself again. And yeah, you fought bears before, but it's being wrapped by a dragon is a new experience. And they seem stronger than tiny Kale normally would.
Yes, they do.
I knew this wouldn't be the best one for fighting. But did you let go?
Just a moment. I'll try to like figure out where my limbs are and unwrap myself around you.
Sybil?
Kale, are you okay?
No, nothing is okay. None of this is okay.
Yeah.
What if anything seems okay to you?
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Listen,
Mhm.
do whatever it is you need to do. I am going to take a moment. And they will, like, on all fours, just stalk out of the room with their tail lashing behind them. And I think the teapot that was in their pack, they dropped when all of this happened, will uncurl and rush after them.
Balder?
I'm just watching.
You're just like,
Well, that happened.
It's a mixture of holy shit, that's a dragon, and holy shit, I just fucked everything up.
and you can see through Sybil and Jax, was emanating lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's going away, but I feel like he's still struggling to keep it in. Like I feel like it wants to come out still, so he's kind of he's flexed hard right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
Don't be a perv.
You know.
Don't be a perv.
He's all puckered up.
Yeah.
Sybil, are you okay?
Yeah.
You right?
Is the lightning just still in?
It's like little sparks.
I'm imagining like a plasma ball.
Yeah, it's like little sparks that can go through your now see-through form that keep arcing.
You look just like your grandfather.
Wow. Thank you for that. God, just lighten the mood just right up here. Hey, Balder, you want to see what I can do? This is what I can do. Hi. And I go over and I try and high five him.
Hi, tentacle.
Yeah. And I just kind of
And
like,
yeah, it's very slow and feels kind of tingly, but her hand passes through yours.
I
Nothing.
am so sorry. I didn't mean to kill you.
Yeah. No, don't.
She's not a ghost. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
not dead. This is just a thing that happens. I'm pretty sure I'm not dead.
Half ghost is what I've
Half
come up with.
ghost.
That's my theory.
I'm gonna just.
Maybe.
Half ghost with the
did you
most.
just? Can I just? Do you just? Are you just? Why?
Yeah, just
Just-
what do you
It's very
Yeah, you
tingly every
can.
time you try and poke your finger like
Just get up on the
through
shoulder, just like.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like
Yeah.
eases in by an inch a second.
You guys were talking to me like I'm weird.
That's
You got the thing.
This?
Yeah.
You're intangible.
Yeah.
You can just dream reality away.
Well, should we
Also, he's lightning, and there's a dragon just over there.
Look, this is not the weirdest thing that's happened to any of us. So sorry for me not having like the appropriate reaction. I know that this is really big for you, but this is actually not the weirdest thing that's happened to us.
Ma'am.
Okay.
And I'm afraid to tell them about the mower.
The what?
I mean, you can.
Nah, I feel like now's not a good time. I feel like
No?
now's even the worst time. I feel like the time that we thought was the bad time was probably the best time.
Yeah, probably. Do you mean
Yeah.
like in Vukan's place? That was a bad time. But like honestly, I would take that over Kale's just gone. Is
Yeah,
there any of the liquid left? Like, can I still now that I'm intangible?
It is sticky and looks like it's thicker somehow from having heat introduced to it.
It's been
But
reduced.
before we get to that,
Oh,
Kale,
good.
we are going
Okay.
to step away to Kale.
Kale, who is not entirely a dragon yet. They are still somewhat human, but like imagine if you took a human and a dragon and kind of smushed them together in just not a good way. Nothing seems to work right. Nothing feels right. They are just now in blind terror, fleeing from what just happened. And nothing in their body works right or feels right. And every single step reminds them that they are a monster. And they are running as fast as they can, as far as they can. Some of you might hear like a distant wail that has an echo of that like gonging noise that they made when they roared down the tunnels. It sounds like a monster is running around out there.
Yep.
Echoing down the tunnels. And they will run in basically until they exhaust themselves, which is they're in good shape. They can run pretty far.
So are you running away from where Vukan study is or towards Vukan study?
Probably towards it. I think even in this panic state, Kale knows that the unexplored is more dangerous than the explored.
Okay. So despite
So
that's
they
the
want-
last location of your
Yeah.
recent trauma. Okay.
That's fine. They want, their instinct says to go for somewhere safe.
Okay. So as you run down the hallway and you feel the echoes of change in your body, you can feel that kind of soreness of the muscles and skin and bone having grown and shifted far too suddenly and in ways that you don't know that you will ever get used to. You see the sky changing to a very overcast sunset above you as you head towards the dark, weird patterns of passing underneath water as you reach what would be the water above the tunnel instead. What would you say is the most prominent thought beyond reaching safety?
Just this overriding terror of like, what have I become? What am I? What have I become? I'm a monster.
Okay. So it's kind of like running down a hospital hallway, that kind of metallic echo that the tile has as you go. You
As I go click
feel,
clack with my claws.
oh yeah, you feel that horror and that sense of being a monster. And you feel a moment of, was this what you were afraid to experience when she left? When you didn't want to go out and adventure a life away from the safety that you had had? So there's a brief callback to the fear of the unknown that you had when she moved on to a different experience.
And in their mind, as they're still running in blind panic, they're like, what I feared was losing everything I knew, everything I'd built with my blood and sweat. What I
And you
feared
have.
most was what I am now, having lost home and everything that I built. I cannot show my face again in that tea shop that I loved. I can't ever start the day knowing that my regulars would come in and I would speak to them and they would smile at me as though I were not a poor child from Deepview or a hideous monster, but one of them, one of the surface folk whose lives are so easy and who never have to worry about going hungry a day in their lives. All I wanted was to belong, and now I never will.
And kind of while you are running toward the study, and you definitely have the energy to get all the way there with your new strength, it's also the exhaustion of all of those emotions hitting you, so you do eventually come to a stumble and a stop before you reach there, which gives Pico the opportunity to catch up.
As I like paw at the wall trying to open the door.
Yeah. Kale, come back. Kale.
And I'll turn on Pico and like snarl and go, you! What? I haven't even dealt with you yet. I didn't know what you were, that you were alive, listening to me tell you all my secrets. But despite all that, you still won't answer my questions when I ask them. You just keep saying I'm not ready yet. And yet, and I'll like put my face right close down to the teapot, and yet I trust you. And I don't know why. Why,
Do you
Pico?
really want to know? Is it going to make it better when it won't change anything?
And I'll sit back and kind of coil on my haunches for a moment and think about it and go, I need something. I need to know there is something I can trust because I can't trust myself.
You're right, if you hadn't found me, you wouldn't be like this.
I thought so.
But you'd always feel empty. This is inside of you. And if I weren't here, it wouldn't be able to come out. But you would feel it missing, especially as all this happens. I don't know how to make it better, but you have not the blood, but the soul of my people in you. You're one of
What?
the incarnations of them. You would feel that absence of community. You would feel that absence of self if I wasn't here.
What does that mean?
We're a type of guardian, I guess. We're starting to wake up, but we have to find each other to fully exit that dream, that sleep. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you don't want it.
What?
We can't stop it now.
Why did I find you?
You've probably felt me.
When
It's
I came
something
down
that
here
you're born with. It's
all those years ago,
not
I
something that I can make you be. It's just something that I can help reveal.
just wanted all to go away.
Magic can't go away.
So we're learning.
Would you
But
rather be alone?
I am alone.
Not if
And
I'm
then I
here.
think back to my friends who I've just assaulted and then ran away from and be like,
Yeah.
maybe not entirely alone, but. And I'll bring my head right back down to Pico. Can I trust you though? To tell me the things you need to tell me.
Can I trust you to not run away when I do?
I'll hold out a little claw to shake.
Tiniest little paw.
Tiny shake.
Tiniest little paw.
Good, good.
Okay. Back with the rest of the group. Sybil, you reach to try and scoop this
Yeah, might as
into
well.
the vial that you have to concentrate to maintain hold of because your hands keep wanting to slip into it. Make an intellect task again
I'm using a
to
different dice.
maintain your hold on the vial, essentially. It's going to be a 12. So task of 4.
Oh no.
I bet
7.
you-
7.
I'm not doing well
I
today.
am offering you a GM intrusion.
Immediately accept. I don't care what.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
love an intrusion.
as you're trying to hold on to this vial, your grip slips literally into it so that your hand goes directly into the goo as well as you're trying to scoop it up.
Great.
And you can feel it echo through your body. That same surge of power that you had failed against before. And you're briefly corporeal and then non-corporeal and then corporeal and non-corporeal in this weird flashing physicality and then dream. And it connects you for that one moment to a world lost, a world that is gone by a millennia. And you see this room as it was before. And your great-grandfather of many times, studying the various facets of it, like seeing through a scrying glass. You can't quite see what each of the scenes is, but you see him looking at them and taking notes as he murmurs to himself about this many years in the future, and then this many years in the future, and then this many years in the future. It is some sort of enhancement. You know that this crystal, this obsidian, and whatever liquid it is bleeding as it wakes up again is an enhancement to a power. And your grandfather used it to enhance his power of seeing into the future. But you also pass the fuck out.
I think we're gonna try to catch Sybil before they just.
Oh, you could
give-
try.
Jax
try.
is going to jail.
Not
Jax is
going,
definitely
I'm not
gonna
a
try to-
physical person.
Just
we're
a
gonna-
sack of potatoes.
Alright.
I think
It isn't
Sybil
really
turns
there.
around and is like, tries to, like, makes eye contact and is like, and then immediately is just, yeah, done so.
I try to catch you.
Yeah,
I do
we're
my
gonna.
best.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna help.
So both of you dart forward, trying to catch the body that's flickering between, you can see it is a physical body, and incorporeal, ghostly illusion. And that is where we end for the night.
Wonderful.
I have notes to take.
Oh my god.
Before you finish with your notes, who else gets the point?
Hail. Hail,
Oh, thank
because
you.
they went through terrible things.
Drama!
I did a lot. That was a lot.
Kale had a moment.
Thank you. That was a big moment.
That moment, that felt like a the moment.
I'm also going to award a point to each of the others as well for the work that they have done tonight, the supplies and the sudden flare of power
Amazing.
that the fire
Amazing.
created, the protection and shocking of friends.
You should
From
totally not
Jax.
Oh,
reward me for that.
Jax is going to feel bad about that for sure.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
Fine.
yeah.
We're all fine. Everything's great. Why
Yeah.
do you ask?
But yeah, so
mhm.
yeah, so it's no big deal. I mean, it's not like Kale is the reincarnation, apparently, of some sort of dragon guardian.
I don't even know what any of that means.
Yep.
Also, Pico never ever said dragon, and Kale hasn't quite figured it out yet.
Yep. Pico's a dragon.
Maybe now
though,
is the perfect
and
time
you
to
are
talk
one
about
of
that
his
vision.
people.
I guess.
Yeah.
We're gonna have
Just a
to.
monster.
Yeah.
Actually, me and Sybil just like, actually, we've known about this for quite a while.
That's fine. But, like, you never told me. You think? Tell somebody if they were a dragon.
You would think, but like you were.
But I would lose my shit.
Yeah. There is a valid reason why Pico went, "Are you gonna run away if I do tell
Yes.
you anything?" Because you keep running
Because
away.
I just did.
Yeah, that's what you do.
ducking my problems.
It's like you know me or something.
Yeah. It's like he has been around for years as you told him all of your deepest,
Yep.
darkest secrets and fears
My
and
weird
your
little neurotic
tendency to
thoughts.
run when you are afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, geez, I wonder where that question came from. But yes, so hope you guys enjoyed your little dramatic session tonight.
So dramatic.
I feel like it's only
Yeah.
going to get more dramatic.
Oh my god, yes. Oh no.
There's no way that this is going to get less.
Well, you guys have decided to go into hiding while the
Yeah.
council oppresses those who are going through uncontrolled changes from magic. Yeah,
Which
so
I want
we'll
it to be
see what
known that
you.
Jax is 100% against, and he's only going along with it because everybody has to.
So we'll see what you return to when you return from the depths. I mean, it's a thing. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how all that works out for you. while you basically force your own evolution to go faster.
Great.
That's gonna be
Oh,
really good
gosh.
for the old
That's
cells.
hey. I can also rank 2 now.
I'm close.
Nice.
Going for tier 2. Well,
I need a third advancement and then
Me
the
too.
fourth.
Yeah, Kale happened to Balder is not, or Joel and Balder are not quite aware of this yet. Kale rolled really, really well on the magic potion roulette and got an individualized magic surge that pushed them pretty far into their next
Oh,
tier.
sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do still
a
have
few
one
extra
potion
points.
left that no one has
Oh
drank.
boy.
That is another potion on the magic potion roulette. But you don't
Hey,
know
you
that in
haven't drank one.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Everybody's gonna drink a
I
potion.
feel like after today, I
Amazing!
could not be trusted with anything.
It's how
at all,
you. It's
just
how
in general. I
you.
was gonna say magical, but just like nothing. Just not.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
how
going
you
to
join the
throw
crew. You have to drink the
fire on
potion.
this unknown magical substance
It's fine.
leaking from the
I
wall.
was just gonna
Like
throw
the
the
walls are
glass at it, and
bleeding.
you were like, "Let's put another thing."
Honestly, it worked out for the best. Like
Yeah,
this
I'm not
is
gonna
Yeah.
lie.
This
Like
is good.
yeah,
two
this worked
more-
out great.
It was
like
beautiful.
2 more seconds, and I was gonna touch it. I swear to you.
Yes.
I
Just
didn't
getting
want
ready.
to throw my jerky in there. All right.
Yeah. Like everyone,
That's food.
yeah, everyone will have a different reaction to touching the magical goo. So if you guys decide to see what happened to Sybil, you are welcome to attempt to touch the unknown magical liquid.
If Sybil
Yeah.
is kind of intangible in the liquid, we're gonna have to get it.
Her hand went into it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
she turned around. You do have to get very close to catch her, which means that there will be more intellect defense tasks in your future.
Great.
But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's not you are definitively touching the liquid until you are doing such a task that puts you at risk of doing so or directly requesting to do so. Because yeah, this shit quite literally awakened the magical power of some random person, and it turned him into crystal because that's what his inborn ability was going to be.
I was just
Damn.
thinking that. I was like, yeah, that means that this stuff doesn't turn you to stone. It just does whatever you were gonna do.
Yep.
That's
But,
his thing.
Yeah, so yay.
Now I'm
Thank
kinda-
you
now I'm kinda
very
wish I would've
much.
failed. Now I kind of wish I would have failed the roll.
Yeah.
You can still fail.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can always
still
also
He's still
choose
touching
to
You can
it.
fail.
always fail next time.
Yeah, you can always choose to fail, and you are going to have to go through an intellect defense task for diving to get to Sybil as she falls. So you can choose to fail that if, as a player, you want to. I am not going to judge you for it.
I'm so curious what would happen to Balter. That's the thing.
Yep.
Cross that bridge when I get there. So.
But yeah, so congratulations on all that. Let's go ahead and go around with our last round of who we are, announcements type stuff, where else we can find you, potentially at a Comic-Con booth. And we'll actually lead with that.
All right.
Alina.
Hey everybody, I am Alina Pete, they, them, and I am playing our very reluctant dragon Kale, who is also they, them. I will be at San Diego Comic-Con this week at booth 1229, right on the main concourse. It's going to be real busy. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, so if you are in the area, come say hi. Otherwise, I will be back online in 2 weeks here. because that is in between my two conventions.
Very cool. Alina is also our character artist and the artist for Where Geek Comics, which you should definitely check out. In fact, here, cast
WhereGeek.com.
info.
Oh yeah, and you can find me at Alina Pete on most socials. There's a million of them these days. Pick whichever one you're using.
Yeah,
I may or may
pretty
not
much.
post.
Yeah, Linktree is in the Twitch chat. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, the links to all of our casts' various ways to go and check them out that they have approved for the audience to view are in the description. Next, let's shift over to Maggie.
That's me. Hi, I'm Maggie. I am they, them, she, her. I'm playing Sybil. If you want to find me, I am rebranded, not Thor Ragnarok anymore. What's up? Because I'm underscore Maggie Hun. Because I figured I should put my last name on the internet eventually. So yeah, you can find me most places at underscore Maggie Hun. I am mostly on Twitter, despite the fact that it's a dumpster fire, but you can find me most other places. And if I have other projects, that's where I'll talk about them. So
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I did not know that I had inadvertently called you by your last name by nicknaming you Hun the way that I do because I spent far too much time in the South.
Same, me too.
Yeah, I call people Hun, and I did not realize that. Very cool. Anyway, yeah, so you can occasionally also see Maggie on Alina's channel, Where Geek Comics. If they eventually get that back together, and I think you guys might have that recorded on YouTube the last time that you
Yes,
guys
on the
played
VODs,
together.
The VODs are there.
Yeah, the
Maggie,
VODs
we should get
are
the band
on,
back
on the
together.
tube.
Oh my
on the tube.
god!
We're getting the band back together after
Very
convention
cool.
season.
After it comes.
Jax, Excel, let's go ahead and hear from you. I know that we've got stuff that you can talk about.
Yeah, there's a few things. Yo, hello everyone. I'm Extel. Pronouns are he, him. You can find me at Extra the King on socials, except Facebook. Not on there. If you see me on there, you didn't actually. But you can catch me on Wednesdays on Take Your Roll, Wednesday nights, which we're not having an episode this upcoming Wednesday, but the next one we will have one. But yeah, where I storytell a Vampire the Masquerade story called Blood Tax. Joel is in it. And the cast over there is amazing. Unfortunately, we had someone leave recently, but they will live on, and hopefully they might appear later on as guests. But you can also catch me here every other Sunday, which I'm so mad that I have to wait 2 weeks for this, but it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, anything else I'm on, you can catch me tweeting about it or whatever and about it on Threads, whatever it's called. Threading? I don't know.
Sewing?
Tweet. Sewing.
Please don't make me learn another social media.
No, hate it.
But yeah, you can find me on just about everywhere, and I'll let you know what I got going on. And I'm also still crowdfunding for a PC. So if you want to, help your boy on that, share it or even donate to it if you can. I would very much appreciate it.
Yep. Link in
You
chat.
can also if you feel like you want a service from me for instead of just giving me money, you can also hire me to run games for you on my Ko-fi. So I get to do vampire, do all types of stuff. So just let me know. We'll get it going. But yeah, that's it for me.
Excel is a great storyteller and GM, so definitely check that
One of
out.
the best ones I've ever had the pleasure of being at the table of.
Yeah, very cool. Always love watching those games. So very cool. All right, and yes, that crowdfunding Throne link is in chat for anyone who might want to check it out. On Twitch, at least, you're able to activate the chat to be live during VOD replays, so don't be shy about that. And then, of course, last but not least, our illustrious guest, Joel.
Hello, I'm Joel. I was playing Balder today. Maybe next time I'll play someone else. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Sapphire or Tentacles. You can find me usually on Twitter as well at Joel Writes, as in JOWOEL Writes. As for things that I've got going on, I am the creator and organizer for Take Your Roll. It's something I'm very proud of. We're currently ramping to the end of Blood Tax, a game of Vampire the Masquerade run by Excel, but also we're in the process of getting ready to start casting a few other games. Pretty cool stuff. We got some stuff coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can also find me on the Find Out Squad, where Excel and I currently are torturing ourselves with Metro 2033 Redux, which despite being the remake and remaster of the game, is buggy as all hell. Last time, for some reason, the escape button simply decided to not continue to work, but
It was a wonderful
only
time.
outside of the menu. So if I like remove myself from the window and then click back in, it would automatically pause, and only then would the escape button work. Don't know how that happens, but it did. We're also playing Mass Effect, which is like there's no content being made because we're just sitting there silently enjoying the game because it's amazing. And then last but not least, this Wednesday, I have on my coffee. I'm releasing Chapter 2 or Episode 2 of the Yes Crew, which is a story I've been working on. It's a bunch of my D&D characters finally being brought to life. Just the description of the story is a lot of spoilers because I'm currently just setting up the characters. But the idea is that there are a bunch of criminals that are forced to band together to save the world because they're the only ones who are able to understand the world is going to end. But yeah, super fun. We just met an elf that we don't know a lot about, and a goblin bard whose music is so bad the universe makes him make magic in order to be able to shut him up. But he doesn't know that yet. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, his name is Kid Kaboom. So it's a great time.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it.
But that's all me. That's all I got.
Very cool. All right, yeah. So links in chat and in description. Definitely check out everyone that you feel inclined to do so. Also, final reminder, there is a QR code in the corner of the screen where Alter Deco Archives is helping to raise money for the Lupus Foundation. They are a great organization that funds studies and education about the condition of lupus. AEA, its affiliates, cast directors, etc., gain no benefit whatsoever from this. We don't see any of it, just goes directly to them. So if you feel inclined and have the ability, I am sure that they would appreciate whatever donations you feel like dropping in. I am Evie, the Disaster GM. I am the director of Alter Deco Archives, GM for this lovely and ridiculous and somewhat dramatic group of players for this. Got some other stuff that is in the works that you might see from me next month on a different channel, but that announcement will be coming at another time. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you are on YouTube. Don't forget to follow Twitch for going live announcements, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.